The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey,
What?
let's go!
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for. The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers.
You pig!
Damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life.
Sport!
Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this Trenches Wednesday, November 8th, 2023. This sports program starts now. Football is what we're normally talking about. And I will say today we have some great football conversation to be had here on this glorious Trenches Wednesday. We'll have J.J. Watt joining us in about 14 minutes or so. Can't wait to hear how his trip to Pittsburgh was and how life is as J.J. Watt. Who does he want to spotlight from around the NFL? We shall see. But in the second hour, we have a billionaire coming in here.
Whoa. Pretty sweet.
Yeah, a billionaire.
With a B?
With a B in there. Yeah, self-made as well. Guy who I do believe dropped out of high school at one point, was kind of off. Then he found him. Then he's back. Then he built a company, sold it twice. Now he's the owner of the Utah Jazz. Ryan Smith will be sitting in the seat that Darius is sitting in, and Darius will be sitting in the seat that Akush is sitting in, and then Akush will be sitting back there, so we keep him away from the billionaire that is in the building. But yes, we'll be talking to an NBA owner today. Cannot wait for that in studio in the second hour. Then the third hour, guess what? Andre Agassi will join us.
Oh, wow.
He's a tennis guy.
Oh, yeah. The goats, they
He
say.
plays the tennis. Bald head, very handsome, cool guy.
Yeah.
He's also a pickleball champion. He won the Pickleball Slam 1 for $1 million. This time he's teaming up with his wife to take on John McEnroe and Maria Sharapova on February 4th for another $1 million. And there's a bunch of charity stuff around it all. Whatever the case, can't wait to talk to Andre Agassi. We're going to say that he's been a guest on the show at some point.
That's sweet.
That's a cool thing we're accomplishing today. The Talks the Table is here. Speaking of guests on this show, these guys are the hosts. These guys run this thing.
No.
Yeah, I'd say the vibes directors around here at Boston Connor and at Ty Schmidt. Con man, 2 days, back-to-back wild ponies.
Yeah, it just felt like we had such a good time with the wild horses that I figured I'd wear another wild horse shirt. And this is kind of a wild horse drawing more so.
You're starting to go with a mustache that seems to be growing a little wild on your upper lip.
It's funny you say that. I did just, back porch barber got me right, and I said, you know what? For Arthur Smith, don't you touch that stash.
That's a good
Don't
move.
you even dare. And he didn't, and I'm glad that I stuck with it. This is for Arthur. I will carry Arthur Smith's stash.
I will give him a mustache ride.
There it is.
That he has not been able to do because he shaved his face.
Thank you.
What a hero you are.
Hey, this one's for Artie. I love that guy. And it was a bummer just to watch him up there without a stash. He was bummed.
I got a lot of people sending me messages about how we need to start saying meaner stuff about Artie Smith.
Yeah.
I want to let you know. Hey, don't you say that. All right, don't you say that. But we have some people here that might throughout the day. He looks different. He looks like Dick Smith there, CEO of FedEx. He's gonna carve his own path. He said he regretted it immediately, and it was like 3:30 in the morning. He said he couldn't sleep. He decided to make the decision, pull the trigger, and he's probably going to be growing it back as soon as possible. I'm happy you are growing one at the same time in his name. Speaking of great mustache, this dude has lost about 60 pounds in the last 3 weeks. One half of the hammer, Dahn, Cowboys, Tone Diggs. You look great, pal.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
How were the Bengals fans in your mentions last night?
They didn't think that I lost weight.
What?
I can tell you
Funny,
that.
fatso?
Tony.
A lot of fatso talk.
A lot of fatso, a lot of brokeback memes, which I didn't understand.
Whoa.
Oh, because they're calling you cowboy.
Yeah, but
And then they're saying-
their
That's not
own.
a
I don't see
problem.
why that's a
Yeah.
problem.
That's not a problem. That was a
It's
compliment.
each their
Heath
own.
Ledger's
You're
a
Jake
legend.
Gyllenhaal? Okay.
Yeah.
Feels
I
like
guess, dude.
Bengals fans are bad people, but
That's Ohio.
yeah, you're right. It is.
Oh, are you trying to say you're the victim here? Is that what you're saying? What did you say yesterday? I don't disrespect the football team.
Yep.
It's just the franchise and the fans that I disrespect.
And the
Well, the
city,
Steelers
correct.
had to play
And
the
the-
Bengals twice, so I don't know how those are going to go. So I can't say that I disrespect the football team because that may turn out bad.
Oh, so you're covering all the bases here while trying to grandstand a little bit around the AFC North. I can respect it. I saw it start to get a little loud because my name obviously starts sliding into anything you guys do at any moment, and it's awesome to see how people react to things that you do.
Sorry.
You.
So sorry.
You.
Yeah, they take things very seriously, which I don't
That's good. That's
understand,
sports, baby.
Yeah.
We're lucky to do it. We're lucky to do it. Speaking of taking things seriously, College Football Playoff Committee released its second ever top 25 this season. It's a little bit of a shakeup, and all the boys want is a little bit of consistency. Greg McElroy last night was about to flip the table.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Watching that show, 7 o'clock every single Tuesday with Reese Davis hosting. By the way, Reese, phenomenal job, dude. Reese Davis is so damn good at what he does. It was a good show. I really enjoy that show. Joey Galloway, Booger McFarland, Kirk Herbstreit, Reese Davis, Greg McElroy, who was not happy about how we need some consistency. First, it's strength of record and schedule. Then it's eye test. Then it's judgment. Then it's what about this win? What about that win? He was asking all the right questions. But Boo Corrigan, the chair of the College Football Playoff Committee, comes and speaks to Reese Davis. And this is just like 20 minutes after Reese Davis has seen the list for the first time as well because it just got finished. So Reese is tasked with basically asking all the questions that all the college football fans have about the most important top 25 ranking, literally as soon as it's coming out, as he's learning about it in real time. And he started bringing up what Greg McElroy was bringing up about strength of record and the future. And, because Notre Dame, whenever Ohio State beat Notre Dame, was a very good win. Now Notre Dame has rattled off a few losses, not as good of a win as it once was, still have them at 1. Why is that the case? Whenever you got Georgia, Michigan, eye test, they're probably better than Ohio State right now. And Boo Corrigan, phenomenal. Hey, this is Roger Goodell level.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Roger Goodell level of answering things. He said, we look at strength of record, strength of schedule. We look at who it was, when it was. We also look at where it was. We do some football judgment, what plane they flew on, how the workouts went that week, what they said after the game, how the media portray them. I'm like, damn. He didn't say all those things, but his answer basically indicated we look at everything.
Yeah.
So there's a reasoning for every single answer that there could be. So inevitably, you can never really get it right in everybody's eyes, but also can never really get it wrong in a lot of people's eyes as well. Tough job, excited and thankful to be a part of the college football world this year and last year, but I do not envy any of those people making those decisions because there's only 4 spots, and you're already starting to look at people getting pissed off about not being in the 4. I couldn't even fathom with how this end of the year could go. The Pac-12 could cannibalize itself still at this point. At the beginning of the season, everybody's talking about how great the Pac-12 is. If they cannibalize themselves here at the end, are they still going to be complimenting the Pac-12 whenever there's 2-3 losses on a lot of those teams, or are they going to remember good teams, or are they going to say, nah, just like we thought, not as good? It's a wild scene in college football right now.
I don't think Georgia and Michigan fans should worry about what it is right now because Georgia has Tennessee and obviously this week Ole Miss and the SEC championship, and I think it's my mic that has feedback potentially when I talk.
Yeah, I think so.
Good catch.
Good catch.
Catch,
Yeah.
Good catch, Tony.
Go ahead, Tony.
Is it still going? Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Yep. Isolated the problem.
Here, do you want the
Yep. Give a handheld to the Bengal hater.
Tony Bengals?
Hello?
Yeah. You're going to have to turn that one off.
Yeah, me. Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah.
There
we
it
go.
is.
So what'd you say, pal? You said
So
Georgia,
Georgia
Michigan?
has Ole Miss, Tennessee, and then the SEC championship. So if they win those games, they're going to be number 1. It doesn't matter. Then Michigan has Penn State and Ohio State. They win those games, they're going to be 1 or 2. It doesn't matter. So if those are the people complaining, it doesn't matter right now. And that's kind of what we said.
Yeah, I think, McElroy's pissed off, I think, about Alabama being behind a couple people. And then if we're doing eye test right now, Alabama's much better than whenever Texas beat them.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then now we're talking about Texas lose to Oklahoma. We see what Oklahoma has done now. It's there's a lot of conversation. I don't envy any of the positions, but I'm pumped that we're kind of coming into a hot stretch for college football. Let's get back to the NFL. We got 2 legends with us. 9-year NFL vet, host of the Man to Man podcast and everything DB. Yesterday, ladies and gentlemen, Darius J. Butlers. Shout out to you, D. Butch. And 12-year NFL veteran, Super Bowl champion, player coach, ladies and gentlemen, A.Q. Shipley, who is Boston Connor's mom's favorite guy on the show. We learned right before that.
Nice haircut.
Hey, Penn State could have a big weekend here with Michigan coming to town at noon game. Penn State wins this game. Wow. Whoa. That'd be a game changer, A.Q.
Well, the interesting thing is if Penn State wins this game, then Michigan beats Ohio State, what happens to the Big Ten? What happens?
Well, and also,
Because they all got 1 loss then, right?
yes, and they all kind of
And then we
A,
go to the
B,
I-
C
Yeah.
did
Yeah.
the whole thing.
So then it comes to Iowa, Wisconsin.
No. Iowa's leading the Big Ten.
Oh,
West. So
okay,
it'd come down to
okay.
Iowa, and they'd probably be the Big Ten champs by default and go to the college football playoff.
Hey, the Big Ten. Well, that'd be crazy if Iowa ended up in the Big Ten football or in the college football playoff. I would really enjoy to see the stats on how they are by far the worst team to ever be put in that position.
Oh, yeah.
Of all time in football wise. But the Big Ten is just kind of one part of the story. I mean, the SEC's got a lot to figure out. The ACC, Florida State, if they win it all, if they somehow stumble at one point, which I'm not saying they're going to, with how great they've been, eye test is going to have to help them because they kill people, but the ACC not that strong.
No.
Then you think about the Pac-12, it's a bananas time.
Because you're gonna get Oregon, Washington back at the Pac-12 championship.
So there's another loss coming to one of them.
One of them.
Yeah.
If
And
it's
now,
Washington.
if they avenge the loss that they had early in this, it's crazy.
It
It's
is.
wild stuff.
Only 4 spots. I don't know how it's not until next year that it's 12 teams. Like, how is this not at the beginning? And Nick Saban told us, who we will talk to tomorrow, basically they were trying to save like the bowl season. So we're only doing 4 because it won't take away from all the other bowls. The bowls still matter. The bowls still matter.
Do they?
Amen.
The bowls still matter.
Do they?
That was what the decision they made.
Do they?
Now you're asking that question. You're asking that question. You're not the only one. Everybody's wondering, okay, we won 6 games. We're celebrating, and we're going to hold back what a real playoff is for that sake there? I don't think so. So 12 games, probably going to become,
Oh, yeah.
and probably going to become, and then we'll just work right into it. In the NIL transfer portal days and the college football playoff extended days will be electrifying. And all the people that hate it right now are just scared of what could potentially become. And I understand it. And you love tradition and history. I don't think we're going to lose a lot of that. I think we're actually setting up for more of that type of stuff to potentially either be built or to happen. Because like Bedlam, Oklahoma State, there has to be a financial thing that comes alongside that to both of those programs.
Oh, yeah.
It's needed.
With how big it is. I assume they're going to get back into it. That's a damn shame that we're losing that particular game in this whole realignment with Oklahoma going to the SEC. But it's like, I feel like all the decisions being made are around money, and money's good. All these games are good money. So I think inevitably it'll all get figured out. I think the future of college football is going to be good.
Like we lost WU and Pitt for a little bit after the Big East went away, but then they made the right decision and brought it back now. Like that, I hope the same thing happens with Bedlam.
Yeah, I hope so too. Oklahoma State's cool with it never happening again, though.
Yeah. They get the
last
trophy.
win.
All right, let's talk about NFL football here. Darius, did you happen to hear what AQ said before we went live today?
About
He was talking about the NFL run game around the NFL is just absolute crap. Is that what you were saying, AQ? Because you sent me a text late night Sunday.
Really?
Late night, it would be early our time, I guess, Monday. He's over there in the desert. He sent me a text and said, worst rushing Sunday in the history of the NFL. Why'd you say that, and what does that mean?
Man, I'm telling you, I've been watching this for 2 years now pretty closely, and the biggest thing that I'm seeing is the lack of creativity this year. I think every coordinator is scared of pre-snap penalties. I think they're scared of all the motions and shifts, except for a few teams, right? Don't get me wrong. Obviously, Miami's still doing it. San Fran, right? The Lions, all the good running teams are still doing some good things. But for the majority of these teams, you are seeing just a lack of creativity and a lack of variety. You're seeing an inside zone week, and you're seeing, here we go. This is a classic inside zone week by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and it's going to get blown up because tight ends on the backside can't win. Okay, you get 2. But that is what you are getting. You are getting that right there. And then you're also getting the classic duo play, which I think we might have teed up. Here we go. This is the Jets Monday night classic duo play. We talk about it all the time. But defenses are so good. We've talked about this a bunch, Darius, AJ, everybody's talked about this. Defenses are getting so good. Offensive lines are lacking right now. And then what you get is the bounce, and then watch the flag come in right there. Because anytime you get a duo play, it's meant to hit in the A gap. It's power without the puller. That's what the play is. And when it's meant to hit in the A gap and it's stuffed, like it is always on defense, then it bounces, and everybody's trying to see, oh, their guy, this guy, and then they play over the top, and you get a holding call.
Oh, so all those holds that we see are potentially like, we know it's coming. You guys know it's coming.
I know it's coming.
Because for me, I think, big play.
Yeah.
These linemen just can't keep their hands inside. It's like, well, the play's not supposed to go that way.
No.
It's supposed to go this way. So whenever you're jousting with a 280 or 300-pound man, there's a chance he's going to know that your guy's going a different direction than you. So he pokes, he starts going, boom, you start holding. We got a penalty. That thing's going 10 yards the other way.
That's exactly right. And the other thing that we're also seeing is when you watch the college game, this is all trickling into the NFL. The college game, all they run is the inside zone week. and then they run the play action off of it. Now it's starting to trickle into the NFL. So you're seeing this lack of variety, and all you're seeing.
Oh no, this Tom Brady said this about it. He said football's getting too simple. It's getting too easy. You're even thinking that in the run game, it's getting too easy.
100%, and you're losing the motions and the shifts because can't process it. Now we can't process it, so let's get everybody standing still. We don't want anybody making pre-snap things because when you get shifts and motions, what also happens? The defense moves.
Correct.
When the defense moves, we don't know what spots to go to. So now all this stuff we're not processing, and now
It's professional football.
I don't know what's happening.
It's professional.
I don't like it.
What the hell?
Joining us now is a man who is a great professional football player for a long time.
Amen.
Yeah.
He's in the Houston Texans Ring of Honor. There's only 3 people in there.
Wow.
He's one of them. Ladies and gentlemen, guy who works on CBS Sunday kickoff show every once in a while.
Every once in a while.
Incredibly handsome, very tall. Game wrecker. Was just in Pittsburgh for TJ Watt's game this past weekend. JJ Watt. How you doing, bub?
I'm great. How are you doing?
Hey, I see the hat on still.
Yep.
That means we got good things happening. Hold on, before we dive in. Gumpy, would you like to give us a Burnley update here before the owner has a chance to really say anything, Gump?
Tough match this weekend against Arsenal, JJ. Best of luck, my friend.
Okay, so we got Arsenal this weekend. I like that. We're playing with the big boys.
Let's
go.
We're playing with the big boys. How do we feel about Burnley, and what is the state of the union here?
Yeah, I will give a State of the Union. That sounds great because there's no doubt about it, it's been a rocky start to this campaign for us. It has not gone the way that we've wanted it to go. But you don't get involved in something like this to only be there for the shitty or for the good times.
Yeah.
You're also there for the shitty times, and you're also there when you got to work through some stuff. And we are very early into a brand new Premier League season. So I am optimistic about where we're going. Are there things we need to fix? Absolutely. But I am optimistic. Vince is a very, very smart manager. We've got a system that takes a little time to learn. We've got new guys learning that system. So I remain optimistic. The hat stays on the head, and we go again.
Hell yeah. Let's go, Burnley.
Here we go, Burnley.
Let's go, Burnley. Yeah, Gumpy with your negativity. Don't you worry. We got a lot of season left.
I wasn't calling for the coach's job. That wasn't me.
Yeah, that was me.
Time.
Oh, yeah.
Jeez Louise.
Just seeing if, we could maybe light a fire under the boys' asses. But that State of the Union, I'm back. I'm back on Burnley's side here. I'm ready to, wet the sails and get going. I know that's not exactly a Premier League.
Raise the
Up the clarets, JJ. Up the clarets, JJ. Let's go, boys.
Gump, let's act like you've been on board the whole time.
All right.
I gotta say, AQ looks jacked today. I don't know what he took or what it is, but you look jacked today.
What he
I'll give you
took?
that.
Steroids.
What are you saying? He says you're on stuff.
Oh,
I don't know.
Hey, he's down a bunch.
No.
What did you, what were you? What are you?
I am 247, and I was as heavy as 320 in my.
You
It's all in the
fat son of a
biceps and
bitch.
traps,
Health
baby.
is
It's
wealth.
all in the biceps and traps.
And calves. You should see this dude's calves, bro.
I have. I mean, it's what you want out of a calf.
It certainly is. It certainly is. Are you back in Arizona? I see the jersey repping. Shout out, Pat.
I am. Shout out Pat. His birthday would have been 2 days ago, 47 years old. So
Rest in peace, legend.
I am. Rest in peace. I am back in Arizona. I had a phenomenal weekend in Pittsburgh. I mean, I know you boys know all about it. It was a great week. The weather was perfect. I mean, we had colorama in the trees. We had crisp fall air. We had Steelers football. We were slinging some discs. It was great.
Okay, so is this your first time really getting out there to hang out during a game weekend, or what made this one different than maybe times? Yeah, hey, not great, but hey,
Tough twirl.
not bad, not
They
bad.
caught me at a bad time. I had a good twirl at the beginning, and then I really lost it. I tried to bring in some extra energy, and I lost the momentum of the spin. The physics of it didn't work very well. But yes, this was my first time as like a true fan. I mean, I've played there, obviously. I watched TJ a couple weeks ago in Houston, but this was my first time just attending Heinz Field as a fan. And man, it was cool. It was really cool to see that organization, to see TJ, to be there for it all. It's a special place. It's a very, very special place. I will say that it's probably the highest percentage of jerseys I've ever seen in a stadium atmosphere. Those people will wear some jerseys, and you'll see Jack Lambert, you'll see Troy Polamalu, you see guys from every era. It's pretty awesome.
Well, the Troy Polamalu one is everywhere because he was everywhere, especially places he wasn't supposed to be at certain times where dreams were supposed to come through. But yes, very much a Pittsburgh town over there. That's why if you get introduced last there, it's a massive ordeal. We learned, I guess, moments before the game that Tomlin picks who's getting introduced each week. It's on an alternating thing. Pick the defense. And when TJ comes out last, hey, that's going to be a very proud moment there with that whole city going.
He's not last.
What?
Not last. He's second last.
That's just because
Cam came back. Cam Hayward.
No, Cam goes last. Yeah, legend. Cam's a legend.
We agree. I don't know. When I was there.
We've been there when TJ's gone last.
Yeah, TJ came out whenever we were there. They were playing the Bills.
Yeah.
And Duck Hodges was.
Yep, slinging the pill.
Cam is a legend.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, Cam's a legend. Dad a legend. Cam is an absolute beast. It was his first game back, too, off of injury. But when you see your brother come out there and you see all the theatrics and everything that takes place during that game, you get the juices flowing a little bit. You think, you know what? Maybe I will play for the Steelers? Is that what you started thinking about?
Ooh.
I mean, I will say that Sunday when we were at his house and he was getting ready for the game, he comes home from the team hotel because it's a night game, or I guess it was Thursday. So Thursday he comes home from the hotel and he's getting ready for the game. He's getting dressed. He's putting on his music. He's got his coffee. And as the music starts going and it gets closer and closer, he's getting ready to leave and we start talking about the pregame. Like, that was truly the first time where I was like, man, I wish I was doing this right now.
Oh.
Like, I do wish, for that moment, I was like, I do wish that I was getting ready for a game. Just that feeling, that adrenaline, and being able to see it and feel it in the house. It was the first time that I actually had that FOMO about it.
Oh, yeah? How'd the wife and how'd the family think about it? They're like, JJ,
Wait a minute.
What's this?
this is a little bit different. You start wearing your head in.
Well, then after the game, when we're driving home and he's talking about, my finger hurts, my wrist hurts, my heel hurts. I was like, oh yeah, that's why I don't do it. Yeah,
okay.
There's plenty of reasons why. But then I went in the next day and I worked out in their facility, and it's a great spot. And being around, some of those guys and the strength coaches and just kind of that atmosphere inside of a building, it. I mean, there's nothing like that camaraderie, that chemistry, that feeling of being in a building. So it was fun. I enjoyed it out there. I had a great time.
Did you stop by the training room? Maybe they test your knees, some called physical?
I put on a show in the squat rack. Don't worry. They don't need to test them. They know what they look like.
Oh, they knew the deal. This guy went on a recruiting visit.
Wow.
Cool. Got a towel.
Sounds like it went well.
Got a lift in. Did you get to eat there? How was the food?
I did not eat there. No, I didn't. I had a protein shake after the lift, but no, I didn't eat. I would imagine the food's pretty good because I've eaten a lot of food in Pittsburgh. A lot of good food in the Berg.
Oh, yeah. What did you get to enjoy? I saw the Permanis folks tweeted you and said, we got you, JJ.
Yep. We had some chocolate-covered pretzels, which I love. We
Saris?
had
Saris?
I had so many. Sarah, sorry. I never know how to say it. I don't want to insult anybody.
I saw
Sorry,
you apologize for calling them pierogies, too. You can say pierogies.
What are we supposed to call them?
Yeah, I mean,
Some guys
since
said,
when are we like?
Yeah.
Yeah, some guy was like, pierogi is plural. Don't add an S.
Yeah, I saw that person. I'm like, I grew up right down the street from Rosie's Pierogies. Was she not Polish? You tell me. I don't know. Yeah, so I thought you apologized. That guy was very kind to you, but I almost came in and was like, shut up, dude. Yeah. That ain't what you just said wasn't right. So you had some Saris pretzels. Incredible.
Yeah, we went to like a pumpkin farm place. We got a bunch of like pumpkin pie. We got a bunch of apple cider donuts.
Ooh.
Big fan of apple cider donuts. Huge fan. I had a shitload of tater tots. I am talking like a shitload of tater tots.
Love that.
It was great, man. It was really good. We had a good time. We went and we were sitting around on Saturday watching college football, and this is one of the things I love about TJ is we're sitting there watching the games, and he was like, you know what? Like, we're probably not going to remember someday who won the Texas-Kansas State game. Let's go out and make some memories that we will remember. So he literally like DoorDashed some discs for disc golf, and we've never played disc golf before in our lives. We've never done it. And so we went out for a couple hours and we played disc golf in the woods. It was fun.
Hey, the photos look sick. Yeah, I mean, you look like you're in a full. You said you never played before. Are you guys big frisbee guys, big hippies out there in Wisconsin, throwing those things back and forth?
Nope, never, nothing. Haven't done any of it. Probably explains why I shot like 15 over But it's a blast, and it's a lot of fun. It's also a very sneaky, good workout. Pittsburgh, extremely hilly town. A lot of hills.
Oh yeah, but that's why.
A lot of dangerous roads. The roads are crazy there, man.
Yeah, you got to imagine driving stick shift there. Imagine that.
No.
You're on a hill like this, and then there's a road here, and then also this side doesn't stop. So good luck.
Yeah, like there's stop signs. But it only applies if you're turning left. If you're turning like you don't have to stop if you're going this way, but you do have to stop. And then this road might merge in at the exact same time. And also we have this thing called the Pittsburgh left, where the first car just gets to scream on past everybody. But I hope you know that, because if you don't...
Well, and also the last car, too. Pittsburgh left is also first car. As soon as it turns green, we're going in front of you. And then also, once it turns red, three of us are also sneaking through there because we don't know where to have to go. Pittsburgh's a beautiful place. I'm happy you got to experience it. I hope more people will get a chance to travel out there. I don't know if you're going to get treated like J.J. Watt, but you at least have a blast. Good people over there. Let's talk about some bad people. How about these people just taking money out of these NFL guys' pockets for football plays, J.J.? I've seen you've been tweeting about it. Now, there's some things that JJ loves. JJ loves a good uniform combination.
Yeah, of course.
Loves a good uniform combination, but also likes calling out the bullshit that happens whenever maybe they're taking money out of a guy's pocket for a standard football play. Why are you taking a stand about this? Because you are JJ Watt, so you're going to be heard. And why do you think this continues to happen in football?
I'm just sick of it. Like, I've been on the other end of these fines. I've gotten some of these fines, and there's some of them that have been legit. There's no doubt about it. I mean, there's definitely plays that legitimately I understand why they're fining and why we're trying to get some of those things out of the game. But what's happening now, these plays that we're fining guys for, and we're taking tens of thousands of dollars out of their pockets because of routine football plays, things that happen throughout the course of the game, it is mind-blowing to me. And I know that these guys can't really say anything, because if they speak up now, they're going to get fined for speaking up about it. But it's
$50,000 for that.
Really
Is
absurd.
$50,000.
And when you have to run the playback 10 times to figure out which guy even got fined, like which guy, like what are we doing here, man? And these guys are getting fined. And yes, I get it. Make a ton of money. Don't complain. Don't say anything. Right here. What do you want a running back to do? Like, literally, what do you want a running back to do? And now we're going to take away tens of thousands of dollars from them. It is annoying. It is frustrating. And obviously, there's got to be a reason behind it. Either there's posturing for the next CBA so that they can say, okay, if you want to take those fines away, you give us this. Or it's they want people to say, we want this game to be more violent. So they want to be able to say, hey, we tried to stop the violence. We tried to stop the CTE. We tried to stop this, but you guys said you didn't like that. So I don't know what the reasoning is behind it or why it's ticking up all of a sudden, but it is out of control this year. And we have to say something about it. It's nuts.
Yeah, it is. The whole thought of them doing this, and they have full power, by the way, with the last CBA, they have full power to do whatever they want. That is judge, jury, executioner pretty much was written in there in ways I don't know if the NFL Players Union might have understood or seen coming like this. I do appreciate them potentially doing this to make it something that's so terrible that then they can say, we'll give this up in the negotiation. So let's build up something that's terrible, and then we can just be like, yeah, look at us. We're heroes. We'll give that whole thing up. Also, we need 18th game, and we need this as well, and we need that. It is crazy that is potentially what's happening here behind the scenes. They're playing a little chess.
Yeah, there's a lot of that type of chess that goes on, and the owners act like they care a lot about certain things, so that then when they give those things up, all of a sudden it's like, and then guess what we don't get back? Like percentages and guarantees and things like that. So it's all the chess game, man. And the hardest part about CBA negotiations with the NFL as compared to other sports is that the average length of career in the NFL is 3 years. And I was a young guy once. I know exactly how that feels. I know you just want to play. You're like, sign whatever CBA you want. I don't care. I want to play football. That's what happens when you're young. And then as you get deeper into the game, you start to understand like, oh, there's much, much more to this. And this is a much deeper and a much bigger business than I understood. And you try to pass that knowledge along to the young guys, but they don't want to listen because they think you've already made your money and you're safe. So why would I listen to you? I'm trying to make my money. It's a big thing, man. It's crazy.
It's hard to be told something that you have to experience too. You know, like when you're young, lucky to be here, thankful to be here, let's play ball. Then you get jaded by business. You're like, oh, this is what all the old guys were talking about. This is that bullshit that everybody's talking about. And then you tell a young guy and they're like, well, it's not going to happen to me, obviously. Like, no, of course not you. Not you.
Never.
Well, won't happen
Never.
to you. Not you.
You have those NFLPA meetings, like the rep will come in, and there'll be like 10 guys in the room, and you're like, guys, you need to listen to this. But I mean, I was the same way. You're like, just get me out of here as fast as possible. Let me go home. Let me relax.
After practice.
And then later in your career, you're like, guys, please come in. Yes.
We're not diving into
exactly
the NFLPA right now. I don't want to do that. I think both these sides are certainly could do better business. But the NFLPA choosing, we're going to do this on a Wednesday at 7 p.m. Okay, so after your entire day, after practice meetings, here's the NFLPA meeting that you guys should all listen to. And at the end, we're going to ask if anybody has any questions. And that'll be about 7:30 p.m. on a Wednesday, week 15. So if you have any questions, go ahead and fire away. Anybody have any? Shut up! No, no question at all.
I went through a stretch where you vote for the PA rep every year for your team, and there was a stretch of like 5 or 6 years in a row where whoever was the PA rep, that guy was gone the next year. It was a wild situation. So then guys started not wanting to be the PA rep. It was it's an interesting world.
Never want to do that. Anyways, let's move along. I appreciate you bringing attention to this because you're JJ Watt. So maybe there'll be a little bit of change. Guy lost $100,000 in one game for 2 hits.
Ridiculous.
You know what I mean?
What are we doing?
And then that one was only like $9,847 in comparison to a $90,000 fine. Not that big. But then you see when he lowered his shoulder and hit somebody. It's like guy loses $10,000 for that? Like what? 10,000 American dollars are gone because of that. I don't get it either. I'm appreciative of you bringing it up. Ty has a question for you, JJ.
Yeah, JJ, this weekend, I mean, everyone's kind of been talking about it, and he's been unbelievable, but CJ Stroud kind of just setting the entire league on fire. Obviously, you're not living there anymore, but how realistic is it that Houston either like makes the playoffs this year or actually like kind of goes on a run? Like I think it's safe to say that they're like firmly in a Super Bowl window now with how good he is. And no disrespect to any of the guys that you played with, but how pissed are you that this guy wasn't your quarterback while you were in Houston?
Oh, man, it is so much fun to watch. And the most exciting thing for me is to watch how he's got this city rallying again, how he's got this fan base excited and invigorated, because it is a great fan base. And I love to see that they have something to cheer for and something to be excited about. And like I've said every time I come on here, not only is it the way he's playing, not only is it the way he's spreading the ball around, I mean, putting up unbelievable stats, doing it all as a rookie, but he's also leading the right way. He's saying the right things. He's doing the right things. He FaceTimed me from the Children's Hospital last week because there was a kid there that was a fan and wanted to say hi. Like,
that's
the guy is doing it the right way. Yeah, he is doing it the right way, and it's really cool to see. And it's a guy you can be proud of. It's a guy you want to root for. So we're very excited to have him, and we're very lucky to have him.
Okay, so it was Houston before the draft that came out and said, CJ Stroud's dumb.
He's an idiot.
CJ Stroud, make sure Carolina knows. Our test that we do, the super duper 014 test, this guy is not going to be able to remember anything.
Fool.
You remember that?
No.
That was being said about him. And now we're watching him. 14 tuds, 1 interception. Yeah, he knows what the defense is doing.
Yeah.
His brain might be better than guys that are in their 4th or 5th year. That's like one of his weapons.
Oh, yeah.
And then his arm, JJ.
This clip.
Yeah, go ahead.
This clip is one of my favorite clips because he throws this game-winning touchdown with no time left, like drove the team down the field. And then immediately after he throws that touchdown, you know, some teams are going to go down, dogpile their guy, get so excited. He's cool. He's calm. He's collected. He's like, yeah, this is what we do. This is what we do. And then you look at D'Amico on the sideline, and D'Amico's like, yeah, this is what we do. Like, it's not crazy. It's not going nuts. It's like, yeah, we expect to win these games. And I think between those two guys and the rest of the roster they're building in the next, 2 or 3 years, if they do these off seasons right, a lot of free agents are going to want to come to Houston because of what they're building. They truly are about to open up a Super Bowl window here, and it's an exciting time.
I didn't even think about Houston being a destination. Texas, and also Houston, land of Vegas.
Yeah. Sweet.
You know what I mean? People do enjoy old H-Town.
Yes, they do.
How could you not? Hey, his arm, hose.
Yeah.
Spins.
That thing's a hose, dude.
He's got such a quick release, too, man. He keeps it right tight. It's
like Dan
such
Marino.
a quick release.
It's like Dan Marino.
Great, man.
You know what I mean? It's like,
yeah, it's tough to sack, tough to get. I mean, the guy's thrown, 2 picks on the whole year? 1 pick on the whole year? I mean,
one pick.
Yeah.
Crazy.
It's bananas.
Incredible.
Another rookie made his debut right in front of you pretty much. Good.
Oh, yeah.
But
Also as a hose in his second start in a short week Thursday Night Football against the Steelers. What was your thoughts after seeing Will Levis live. I'm sure you talked to your brother, some other guys since you're around the facility about his performance. What's your thoughts on him going forward now being named the starter down there in Tennessee?
Yeah, I mean, I think he's earned that so far. I think that he's earned that opportunity. I mean, 2 weeks ago, put on an incredible performance, obviously, and then against the Steelers, I thought he put up a strong performance. It was a Thursday night game, quick turnaround after his first start, but the guy has a cannon. There's no doubt about that. He can throw the ball, and he does seem to have good command. He does seem to have the team behind him and the leadership to do it. So when you have Derrick Henry that you can hand it to, and you got some of those guys on their defensive side of the ball that can play as well. So he's in a good situation, and I do think that it's probably the right time, and it's also good in the back half of this year, even if it's not necessarily a playoff situation. It's good to see what you got with the rest of the year with him, and it looks like he's got some promise.
Yeah, he got the moxie, too. Came out with no helmet on, just a hat. I don't know if you saw that. Had a camouflage hat on while he was jogging out the tunnel in Pittsburgh. I was like, all right, this guy wants to feel it.
Love it.
Look at me. I'm ready for it.
I'm the one.
And after, hey, how was Renegade? How was it? Did you enjoy it?
It was great, man. But they gave up like a 15-yard pass the first play after it, and I was like, oh, we just wasted every single ounce of energy.
Which leads to
It's sweet.
Will Levis was in the end zone
Yeah.
after that happened, and I think it was like a 25-yard ball.
Yeah.
He completed.
It was a yeah.
So he might have it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Might have it.
Yeah, he might.
Connor has a
I
question.
mean, it is
for you.
cool though. Those lights go out, and you know what's happening like that. I mean,
Do you know
I
the
love
words?
when a team has? I know, hey mama, oh mama.
Oh,
Hey,
boy.
mama.
Hey, mama.
Hey, mama, it's
Oh,
that
mama.
big, oh, mama. Hey, that ain't that song, dude.
Oh mama. No, I don't know the words.
Fear for my life from the long arm of the law.
Dude.
And that was when you were grabbing terrible talent.
Oh yeah, I was waving the shit out of that thing. That's a long song. I also learned that long song. Arm was gas.
They caught you at the end.
That's why. Yeah, they caught me at the very end. I was dead. My arm was literally gone, and I knew the camera was coming at some point, so I had to keep swinging that thing. I couldn't put it down, otherwise I looked like an idiot.
Yeah, that's good self-awareness.
Yeah.
Yes, they are going to shoot me doing this right now. I don't know when the time is, though. I think they should pre-record those shots to the crowd.
Smart.
Yeah.
But they had DeMar Hamlin right behind Chris.
Yeah.
Chris and Tarico. Mm-hmm. And do we have to do that live? Can we not just get a shot of him maybe like 10 seconds before that where he's not picking his teeth? And then
like a cool shot? Like, can we get a good shot?
They put his ass right here.
Yeah, buried him, guys.
Right here.
They got me later in the game looking at the back of the box of SARS chocolates because I had 7 pretzels. And I was like, I literally told my wife, I said, babe, I got to see. And it is 100 calories per pretzel. And I was like, oh, I'm fucked.
Oh my God!
You're an embarrassment. You are an embarrassment. This is disgusting.
But I ate a lot of them.
Yes.
And they caught me on camera doing it.
Yeah, you're a pig. Obviously, you ate a lot of them.
Holy
Jeez.
hell.
Yeah.
There's only one word. Well, there's a few words, but certainly one that comes up in conversation a lot.
Scumbag.
Yeah, Diggs.
Am I going to have to pay that fine too, like I paid the $5,000 last week? Are we doing the shot again today?
Winners to be announced, by the way, today.
Okay.
Congrats to everybody that wins JJ's money. Marquee has been updated. Thank you, JJ.
You sack of wine.
Hope you're happy. Okay? Hope you're happy.
I'm not. I'm really not. Last week I kind of was a little happy. This week I'm really upset.
There's this is back-to-back weeks. I didn't even know.
Yeah.
So much has happened since the last time you swore on this show, I guess. There's olds all around America right now.
Oh, yeah?
That are like, did that guy just say?
You said
F
it right.
dash
I know. I
dash
feel
dash.
bad because my grandma texted me this morning too about the show, and I had to tell her because I'm on an hour earlier, and I said, "Grandma, I'm on at 11:15 Central today, not 12:15." So I want to apologize, Grandma. You shouldn't have heard me say that. That was wrong, and I'm sorry.
Wash that mouth out with soap.
Yep. Now.
Yep.
I don't even know where to go from there. You just,
neither.
I mean,
Get him off. Get him out.
I don't want to kick you off the show. This is back-to-back weeks.
I know.
Yeah. So, sometimes you got to lay down the law, or else is it going to be 3 weeks in a row?
Yeah, what?
Yeah.
I thought we learned from our mistakes.
Yeah. No. I mean, you make another shot, I'll pay more money.
Yes. Yeah. A lot of arms.
That's fine.
Oh, dude, what? I know you've talked about it, but I want to hear it for myself. What happened with the sunburn or not sunburn at Alabama?
The camera wasn't white balance.
Yeah.
It
camera
was
was on.
preposterous. I tuned in and I was like, my guy looks like a toaster strudel out here.
Yeah, believe me. I didn't feel exactly how I looked on the camera, but also with the way the sun was hitting me and the screen, I couldn't see the screen. So I had not seen the television, what it looked like for, 45 minutes or so. And then I got a text from like 5-6 people that are like, just saw you in the airport I'm in, are you okay? And I'm like, what is everybody? And I look down at the screen, I'm like, holy hell. And then, am I really that burnt? I did get a little burnt. But I think the camera was not white. I think it was white bounce on the crimson helmet.
Yeah, sure.
And then the crimson chairs behind me, and I just blended into the whole thing. I did have a sick, 1990s professional wrestler tan.
Oh, yeah. You did? Like Lex Luger, yeah.
I had a Ric Flair drip going on there. But yeah, I got a lot of people very concerned about my health. So no text from you, though.
Huh.
So
interesting.
Thanks for
sometimes I'm like, he's just annoyed. So many people text him in the show. I'm not going to also text.
If somebody's worried about my life and my well-being, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Okay. I won't.
All right, JJ, 10 more people. $500. All you got to do is retweet this post, say something nice to somebody, and put the easiest way to pay you in the same exact response.
Is this a Dude Perfect channel? What is this?
I'm not under Burnley. I'm not Tyler. But every once in a while, a ball will fall. And when it happens, JJ's got to pay people. That's great news.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
You have a 1,000 batting average right now. This is unbelievable. It can't be real. These got to be fake. These got to be pre-recorded.
Yeah, you're right. Who knows how long it's... That's 20 people, $500.
Boom. Yeah.
Not 10 people. That's 20 people, $500. Thank you, JJ.
Good guy, JJ.
All right, hey, Connor has a question. That was awesome.
That was sweet.
Yeah. Mid-interview giveaway from a guy that just cusses like a sailor all over ESPN.
Hold on, wait. Is the Dude Perfect? Are those shots not real?
What?
What are you?
Just
this is not
I'm just putting two and two together. I don't want my world.
This is the wrong
Because me and my kids, we watched that.
Look at this guy's
JJ.
But these are my fellow businessmen you're speaking about here.
Yeah. We can move on. I'm just putting.
What?
They are
Darius. Because he asked the question. He said, "Hey, is this a Dude Perfect channel?"
Yeah, because it was a perfect shot.
Yeah.
There we go. That's all I need to hear.
Dude, it was perfect.
Boom.
20 people, $500. Shout out to Tyler and the boys down
We've
there.
seen it in person, D-But it did not take 3 hours. It took one shot, okay?
And a lot of smoke and mirrors.
No smoke and mirrors.
Come on.
That's disgusting. Okay, that's dude not perfect. What you just did back there. Okay, I watched Tyler.
Yeah.
Tyler.
Gump, who are you texting? Who are you texting back there?
Oh, jeez. JJ's
working
watching.
back here,
Probably
JJ.
Tyler.
I just tweeted out you swearing.
Sure.
Just tweeted out you swearing on the show again.
Oh, no.
How about that, JJ? Up to clearance, JJ. It's win a damn football game, JJ. Christ.
Allowed to say Christ, by the way, although people are not going to be happy about it.
Football with a U.
All right, anyways.
Lord's name. That might be worse than the F-bomb to some people.
Not the FCC, though. I guess. Whatever. So that's on them. We learned a lot about them right there with that particular statement. But please,
Hey.
no
I'm
reason.
sure some people had the question.
No,
Con-
Tyler would never.
Tyler would never.
Connor has a question for JJ.
I
though.
do, Jage, and just to be fair, D, but they do not make it on the first try every time. Just to hammer that home, that is where I stand. Okay. Now, do I know that for a fact? No, but that is where I stand.
Oh, okay. That was punditry.
That was punditry. That was opinionated. Shout out Ben Volman.
Well, nobody
JJ.
thinks they make it on the first time every time, right? I mean, that would be preposterous.
Yeah.
I do.
I thought they did. They're
Me too.
perfect.
Yeah.
Pat?
Hello.
Yeah, all right.
Tyler's as talented as they come. When he
I saw him first time, ball in a hole.
Boom.
And then you punted one in first try.
From the concourse.
I did not punt one in first.
Was that? How long?
was
How
close,
long
though.
were you in that coffin with Peyton Manning? How long were you in that coffin?
I don't want to ruin all the movie magic, but 20, 30 minutes.
No way.
Yeah. A lot of shots. I don't know how much of me talking in the coffin they used, but we got a lot of B-roll footage of me talking in that coffin. I mean, a good 15, 20 minutes worth of me just chit-chatting with myself in the middle of some wood, getting a splinter in the back of my shoulder. It was great. It was a real blast. Did you watch that
it was a great
episode?
feature.
Did you watch it?
I haven't seen the whole thing. I saw the clips.
Okay.
I don't. I mean, I'm gonna be honest. In today's world, I struggle to find where things live, and I don't know exactly where that lives. So if you want to, I mean, I'm still waiting for you to show me.
Okay.
You're supposed to show me the Gary V card opening thing. I
yesterday.
to receive that.
What? We missed one yesterday. We missed one yesterday.
Yep.
AJ texted me about halfway through Gary V's and said, "Hey, there's a break going on right now."
They were snapping packs.
I think so. Yeah.
Who won?
Gary beat them all.
The boss won again.
The boss beat everybody.
Can't beat the boss, baby.
Anyways, let's get back to.
This show is awesome. I love this show. This is great.
Well, you're trying to ruin it every time you come in here.
Do you swear on CBS when you go in there?
Yeah. Hey, Bill Connor, you know what? Why don't you go yourself? Is that what you say on CBS, or is it a little bit more respect over there? Jeez Louise.
You're right. You're 100% right. I have no self-control when I come on here. I need to reel it in. I'm going to bring it back, and I apologize.
You should make fly fish, too, if you're going to do it. I'll show more fly fishers.
I've never done that. Have you done that?
No, I just seen the photos, and they always seem to be like right here.
Yeah, it looks cool.
Yeah.
It looks cool.
Yeah, but I feel like fishing's relaxing. You're doing a lot of...
It's quick, yeah. You got to pull that sucker quick.
And then
pretty much standing the whole time, too.
That's not my fishing.
Dwayne Johnson loves fly fishing.
On his lake down there in Virginia at his farm?
Yeah, but he doesn't use a rod. He just grabs them and you catch.
Well, I've noodled before. Let's not get crazy. I would love to.
That's called rock fishing.
What's that?
That was a terrible dad joke. Really bad. Really bad dad joke.
Sorry, I bet Cole popped big
You
on
felt
that.
so good about it. I mean, hey, it was good. We missed it.
Yes.
That's on us, not on you.
Yeah, no, it's
You're
so
in
good.
Arizona,
Yeah,
we're in
so good.
Indiana.
Yeah.
That's tough.
What are you going to do?
There already
Nothing like cracking a joke and having somebody be like, "What's that now?" Be like, oh, okay. Move on with our lives.
We will. Connor has a question for you.
Yeah, geez, this has been terrible. Terrible 5 minutes for JJ. But when you're thinking about playing for a Belichick disciple, which you have, and you have talked about how you and Bill O'Brien are close, and it's not as if the situation in Las Vegas relates any way to what happened in Houston. But Max Crosby and a lot of other people have been saying a lot of stuff, and Max had 3 sacks, he balled out. I know that is something that you saw, but what are some of the challenges that the Raiders might be facing or did face before with Josh McDaniels and your point of view that could have gone wrong, and also why are they so damn good now with Antonio Pierce? And is he just the greatest, players coach that you've seen in recent memory?
Yeah, I think there is definitely, when you just kind of read the comments and you see the interviews coming out of Vegas and the aftermath of having a coach fired, you kind of get a vibe there. And the players, I think you definitely know, okay, let's say they got what they wanted per se. You better go out and ball that next game. You better go out and win the game. You better go out and kind of, prove like, hey, we are great players. We can do this. And obviously Max having 3 sacks and those guys. Now it's a matter of sustaining that. It's kind of like that new energy. I saw they brought the Soul Train back. I saw they brought a bunch of that energy and excitement. There's a lot of that type of stuff that goes on where all of a sudden we're having fun again, which is awesome. And it is. There definitely is a moment of where you're like, we're having fun again. Now it's a matter of sustaining that. Now it's a matter of, okay, does the scheme actually hold up? Can we actually sustain this? Can we scout better? Can we coach better? Can we do these things to sustain that success? Because, the music in the locker room or the basketball or all those things, trust me, I've been in locker rooms where we've done them all. Those things only last for so long.
How are you in there? How are you in there?
Actually, I lost a lot of money on a mini hoop one time.
No, not actual money. You're talking like M&Ms, peanut M&Ms and stuff.
Yeah, no, Monopoly. Yeah, no, nobody plays for
real money. No, of course,
fake
money.
Illegal.
But you were shooting, or somebody else was?
It was a 1-for-1. You shoot, I shoot. You shoot, I shoot. And it was fun, man. That's the stuff that you miss when you're done. Like in the locker rooms, shooting hoops, or like we had one time in the Houston Texans locker room where we took garbage cans and we had a big open locker room and we put one at each end of the locker room and we played 5-on-5 basketball. It was awesome. The whole place got into it. Somebody would dunk and it would just be mayhem. It was those memories are good times, man.
Yeah, I agree. And you need that. I think it's good for the team. Anytime the team is spending time with each other and having a good time, that's only good for everything else. So whenever teams try to get rid of it, I'm like, well, we don't want the boys to hang out.
No, when they like take the ping pong table out of there, they're like, get that out of there. You're not focused. I'm like, yeah, newsflash. We're not watching film 24 hours a day. Like a lot of coaches will be like, we don't want you rushing out of the building. Well, why do we rush out of the building? Because we're not allowed to do anything here. Like we want to hang out. We want to do that. there used to be like players lounges with like an Xbox or a PlayStation in it. Like, I don't care if a guy's staying in the building till 7 p.m. and playing PlayStation if the day is done and he's hanging out with his teammates. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. The more you hang out, the better it is for your team. I can't stand when people like get the basketball hoop out of the locker room. What do you think we talk about in our off time? That makes us closer.
I agree. And then they got rid of playing cards and dice.
What?
When did they get rid of that?
Well, whenever old buddy walked in the locker room with a gun.
Gilbert Arenas.
Oh, yeah. Well, that was it. To be fair, that is a line we probably shouldn't have crossed.
We're like, hey, Gilbert, hey, you know, what you did is, you know, kind of ruining what we got going on over here.
If I had to bet, that had nothing to do with that. It was probably one game that you play on the back of planes. That Blu-ray.
Yeah.
That's when you start bringing duffel bags into locker rooms, it's usually connected to one game.
And whenever you start negotiating outs, I'll give you a watch. Okay, it's a really good watch, and I'll give you a couple other things. Instead, deal? Gonna need. All right, another watch? All right, deal.
Boom.
We are good. Blu-ray is problematic.
Oh, yeah.
Blu-ray is legendary, man. I mean,
they're still playing it.
Blast.
They're still playing. We talked to somebody, I forget who it was. I thought that game would have died with this next generation, honestly, because this next generation seems to be much smarter than we are. That game is not a game that you should be playing. I mean, there is zero skill involved, and you could lose hundreds of thousands of dollars. Quick. I mean, that's real. That is a real thing that can happen.
Oh, it is incredible. And I had never heard of it, never had any. In my rookie year, I went in, and one of my fellow rookies, an undrafted guy, he hopped into a game. Ooh. And all of a sudden, real quick, it was 13 G's down. And I was like, you're undrafted. I was like, what the hell's going on, man?
Buddy, that's going to be 26K.
Yeah.
Quick. Like next hand. That is going to go real fast. Yeah, I played cards. Some of the older guys hosted a poker game every single week. They heard I played cards. They invited me my rookie year. I think they were going to try to take me or whatever. I get cards. Everybody's seen the way my life goes here. That is kind of how it all works out. I'm very thankful for that. So then the next week, I learn a Blu-ray on the away game, and I'm going to sit down. A couple guys from the poker game were like, hey, this is not cards. Like, cards are involved, but this is dice. This is not a card game at all. I'm like, thank you. So then I started watching it, and I heard some numbers being said. And I'm like, how much? There, 47,000. There's 47,000 in there. Yeah, and it might get up to 94,000 too if somebody hits here. I'm like, what, dude? Thank God. Yeah, I was not a big Blu-ray player.
One and done.
And it becomes like it's not real. Like you're like these numbers. If you took me outside of this situation I'm in right now and you said this number to me, I'd be like, yeah, you're a psychopath. Like, yeah, it's a house. That's a car. Like. But on the back of a bus or on a plane, like it just somehow becomes normal.
I saw OG. I walked to the back of the plane having a good time. You know, I saw OG writing this down. So it was like a 4-hour flight, long flight. So you owe me 42, right? 42. Okay, 42. And then he ripped it. Had the guy sign it. These two guys are so drunk. $42,000 on a ripped piece of paper. We both signed. That's real. That's good.
Is real. That is real.
That was very real. It was awesome. Guy got his money.
That piece of paper is as good as the Constitution. I mean, you are paying that money.
Could you imagine you lose that, though? That guy doesn't have that the next day.
Oh, man.
Out. I'm out. Hey, I didn't.
Yeah. Argon nuts.
I don't remember that.
I don't remember doing any of that. All right, let's move along to a guy that's probably not playing Blu-ray, but has a massive brain. AQ has a question for you, JJ.
JJ, can you talk a little bit about Josh Dobbs? And, you know, obviously he was in Arizona, so you got to see it up close and personal, but what does he mean to Minnesota and what he was able to do this weekend?
Yeah, man, it was pretty awesome to see. It's kind of similar, you know, we were just talking about kind of like that fired coach bump where you go out there the next week and you're laying it all out there. I think that there's something to be said almost for the fact that he didn't know any of his receivers. He didn't really know the plays. He was just going out there and playing backyard football, playing off of pure instincts and what the coach is telling him in his ear. I mean, I think there's such a power in that to where it's like you go back to being a natural, real football player. You let the thinking come out of it. That paralysis by analysis doesn't happen because all you're trying to do is literally whatever possible to win the game. And I mean, some of the runs that he made, some of these throws that he made, I mean, literally didn't know what he was doing. And he just went out there and he balled. And it's another thing where you're like, okay, So can we sustain this? Like, is this something where now the team is going to rally and they're going to be like, all right, this is what we're doing. We're going to rally every single week. Or is it now you get into the game plan and other teams start the game plan and all of a sudden everything kind of catches back up? But hell of a performance, man. Really fun to watch. And every guy that I've talked to in Arizona or whoever's been around Pittsburgh, who's been around Josh Dobbs, they love him. He seems like a great guy.
That guy right there, Kevin O'Connell, was talking about how he was relaying in the play and explaining the play to Josh Dobbs, and then his microphone would cut off at 15 seconds, and then Josh Dobbs would just have to kind of calculate it all, and then they go back and win a game. That's absurd. He's called the Pastronaut because he's an actual astronaut, and he also happens to be an NFL quarterback, a great one at that. JJ, we can't thank you enough for joining us, pal. Tried to ruin the show one time. I think we kind of skirted by it.
A little bit.
We had one giveaway whenever I banked one home over here. Huh?
Yep. I'm losing cash every week. I love it. All about the people.
Huh?
Another one? Yeah, let's do it. I mean, you do 3 in a row. This is mind-boggling. Do it. $5,000. Do it.
No smoke and mirrors over here.
10 people, $500 from JJ.
What?
Son of a... That was a bad ball. All
right, it's good. Now we at least all know it's real.
Dude, isn't perfect.
One more. What do you got? One more. Throw something out.
That was there.
All right, no more. Too close.
All right. We appreciate you, man. You're the best. See you next week. Are you on CBS this
Appreciate
weekend or
you
no?
I am. I think I'm going to try and talk fines on there too. So we're going to really hammer this thing from all sides.
Okay, change the rules. We need you. Ladies and gentlemen, JJ Wyatt. I really enjoy how comfortable he gets on his show, huh?
That was a hard F-bomb.
Yeah, hard. Couple of them.
Yeah.
JJ Wyatt. I think he won the Walter Payton Man of the Year probably a couple times.
Oh, yeah.
Big charity guy.
Humanitarian. Good guy. He does that. Says the F word. Is he going to have a job on Sunday for CBS?
Are they going to take him out of the Ring of Honor in Houston?
That's how some people act.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Do you remember that Wall Street Journal article about our show coming to ESPN?
Riddled only F-bombs.
The headline was F-bomb.
F-bomb laced.
Yeah, okay. All right. What is this, 1924, lady? Jeez Louise.
Come on.
JJ Watt, though, needs a mature.
He does.
We can't just have him on our show doing that all the time.
No. What is his son's first words just going to be F dash dash? You know,
I do think about that with old Mackenzie, daughter. 6-month checkup today. Good.
Nice.
Right?
Feel like a real parent, you know? 6 months already.
Big time.
A lot.
Flies
Big
by.
time.
Days are long, but the time flies is what they say. Not so much for me, wife is really kicking some ass, but whenever they start measuring her right in front of you and you remember what it was like on day one and then you're like hoping for growth and health over this first week and everything, now she's like 81st percentile in like weight, 70 percentile this, 60 something in her brain. I'm like, let's go, lady.
Yeah.
Keep going. And I'm like, fuck yeah. And then I'm like,
Oh, geez.
Oh, no.
What is going on, gentlemen? Is there something in the air? What the hell? Now I want to say it.
Don't. You missed. You had 5 seconds. You had 5 seconds.
Yeah, you did.
So we can just start firing them off?
No.
Whenever one person does it, you get
you get 5 seconds.
We can just go?
Yeah, 5 seconds.
Welcome to the top, my friend. Me, you, and JJ all tied with 3.
Okay. I have 3?
I think you had 2 in the first week, and you haven't said one since the first week, I
All right.
think.
Anyways, let's get to a break. Let's start the next hour off on a better foot. We'll have AJ Hawk. We'll have the owner of the Utah Jazz, Ryan Smith, live in studio. And also, just a little bit of a heads up, we have a brand new store with 15% off everything right now.
Yes. Whoa.
Store.patmcafeeshow.com. Shout out to Shop 412, Pittsburgh store. Guys we went to high school with have developed an incredible brand, clothing brand. They said, hey, let's go ahead and upgrade some of your stuff. They have done that over the last few months. We are very thankful for them and for you. We'll be back on the other side of this 3-minute break. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice. Goodbye.
Pat McAfee sell on your stunner at WrestleMania. Where does that rank all time? That's got to be pretty up there.
Man, top three. And I got to say top 3 because The Rock, #1, the way he oversold, and Scott Hall and some of the other guys that took it. But I mean, Pat has a natural feel for the business, epic performer, great on the stick.
I apologize that you're a punk bitch.
Athletically, that match he had with Theory was awesome. And then the kicker was not only the selling the stunner, but to lay there selling, still guzzling the beer, the presence of mind to ad lib and improvise and like this is a moment without even thinking about it. I think he's amazing. He's very entertaining. And as a human being, I like him a whole lot. And here's an off the record story. The second night that we were at Mania, I was just planning on drinking whiskey with my Broken Skull Sessions crew. And so we had a bottle all lined up and we were just gonna drink during the show and show respect to the people that were working. Well, Vince called me into his room and said, hey man, would you come out in the end, stun me, McAfee, and Theory? And I said, sure. So I couldn't drink until after the show. Okay, so the show happens, I go out there, stun all those cats. Brock Lesnar gets done with his match, the main event with Roman Reigns. And me and Brock have been wanting to bond together and have a few cocktails to begin with. And he goes, hey, so it was myself, Brock Lesnar, Larry, one of the trainers who's been there forever, you know Larry, and Pat McAfee.
What a day, what a dream, what a life. Now I'm gonna have a couple more Steve Weisers. What? Maybe a little whiskey. What?
And we took down a fifth. We just passed the bottle around. At first we were drinking out of little cups. Then it just turned into the bottle. And we took down a fifth of Maker's Mark in about an hour. And then we all went our separate ways.
Hey, we fucking did it.
And I heard through the grapevine that a couple of those guys woke up with severe headaches.
Really, and I don't want to undersell this, really hungover. You know what I mean?
From what you had inside the ring that we saw on camera, and then what was there a thing afterwards?
Well, you know, there might have been, yeah, a lot afterwards.
But it was a bonding moment, after a big show like that of four guys, and I've just barely met Pat, but he was already one of the boys because of his football background and how everybody, the WWE has taken to him. And me and Brock's relationship goes back a long way.
The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey.
What?
Let's go.
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for. Ah! The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers, you pig! Damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life. Sport! Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this Trenches Wednesday, November 8th, 2023. Hour 2 of this program starts now. Football is what we normally talk about.
Yep.
And football is certainly why this show has become what it has become. And now, that's obviously not a dream for some people, but for us, we do live the dream, getting a chance to chat about American football every single day.
Hell yeah.
It's not just me, it's the Talks the Table at Boston Connor and at Ty Schmidt. One half of the Hammer, Dahn, Cowboys Tone Diggs, 9-year NFL vet, host of the Man to Man podcast and everything DB. Darius J. Butler is here. And joining us live from an attic in Ohio is a college football national champion, a Super Bowl champion, a Ryder Cup winner, a COVID survivor, ladies and gentlemen, AJ Hawk. AJ, a lot of football chatter on this show normally, ain't that right?
Yeah, that's usually the case. Why? Something special today?
Ho, ho, ho! Ho!
You said it.
You know how the NHL's commissioner came on this show?
Yeah.
That was awesome. The NFL commissioner never came on.
No, he didn't. He's scared. He's afraid.
How about in the Thunderdome? Has any owner ever come in here? Any NFL owner?
No.
I don't think not
so.
that I can think of.
Ladies and gentlemen, an NBA owner has.
Whoa.
He's been here for the last hour. I don't know if he's gotten dumber, smarter, or has enjoyed himself at all. Ladies and gentlemen, owner of the Utah Jazz, self-made billionaire. Very important, Ryan Smith. Hey, you're super cool, dude.
Yeah, you guys left me out at the gate. I couldn't even get in, so I just jumped your gate.
No. Wait a minute. Now, everybody, it's all hands on deck whenever the show starts, and you were arriving at the same time we were there. We apologize for that.
No,
we appreciate you coming in and hanging with Big J, and for making the time. Utah Jazz playing the Pacers tonight. Big one.
We're here.
How's the team?
We're figuring it out. I mean,
Okay.
it's early. We're
spot.
starting. We got some new pieces, and we're trying to figure out how to gel. We got a ways to go, but we got Coach Will Hardy. Got some smart people around. We got some good pieces. We just gotta power through it.
Let's talk about Coach Will Hardy. He's like 24 years old, 22.
He's 35.
35.
Wow,
Okay, he's a very young man.
Yeah,
He's-
looks like it.
He's got a baby face. I got a chance to
Yeah.
see him. Where did you guys find him, and why was he the guy that was hired to lead your team as a new owner 3 years into this thing?
Yeah, so we came in. We had a little bit of we're kind of starting over. We're really trying to create a championship and go for it. I brought Danny Ainge in.
He's pretty good.
He's pretty good at what he does.
Dog.
Ainge came in. We started a coaching search. We went through a whole long list of process. Will was definitely the youngest. Had never been a head coach before, but was with Popovich for about 11 years. Was in Boston for a year, and there's just something about Will. He's just got a connection. Awesome. He's awesome. He's a great coach. And he's just getting better and better, and we love him.
You talk about rebuilding your team. You brought in Danny Ainge from, I believe, Boston is where Danny Ainge came from.
Legend.
He has massive brain. You hear him talk about just genius.
Yeah,
That's what everybody in the basketball world says.
Whole reason the Celtics are good right now is because of the moves Danny Ainge made after Paul Pierce and Ray Allen and Kevin Garnett and getting them out.
So I assume that was a massive strategy move for you to bring Danny Ainge in. Why'd you bring him in, and how did that relationship start?
I mean, we were close. He's someone that I always kind of gelled with. I would talk with him about the NBA. I had never thought that I would be in a position where we would have a team, let alone be able to work with him. And first and foremost, like, we're friends and we like to hang out together. And to be able to do it, if you were going to do a team with someone that a lot of people, I think, get in my position and think they know, but he's able to communicate with me. He's able to talk me off the ledge. He's able to rationalize with me, and I think that's a big part of it. And so I believe in kind of the team aspect of this. There's really no extra points for going alone, so I want to surround myself with the best people we can. And when you've got a guy like that who's willing to, come in and work, and we work together on it. I mean, I talked to him on the way here, just kind of going through what he's seeing. He's, at G League practice right now. He's a total junkie.
Yeah, and he did a great job with Boston.
Yeah.
And whenever you guys decided to redo the program, pretty much, traded away Rudy Gobert.
Yep.
Who else?
Donovan Mitchell.
Donovan Mitchell. And this is you as a young owner, 44 years old, right? Youngest in the league?
At the time, yeah.
So, no longer the youngest? Who came in?
I think Matt and I are pretty close to the same age. But
Matt.
Ishbia in Phoenix.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Rocket Mortgage.
Yeah.
Is that his thing?
He went to that terrible school.
That's the other.
That's Dan
Rocket
Gilbert.
Mortgage, Dan Gilbert.
Oh, that's the Michigan State.
Both Michigan State.
Oh, sorry. What's the other one? What's Ishbia's? It's
I'm blanking.
Oh no,
no.
That guy went to Michigan State. Oh, what a pig! You're a bad guy. Ishbia gave a lot of money up there.
He did.
Oh, but his basketball team, the Rocket Mortgage Michigan State men's basketball team, lost.
Oh yeah, to James Madison.
Yeah.
Probably a smart move going to Phoenix Suns. College basketball not as easy as it once was for Michigan State. United Wholesale Mortgage.
Just another mortgage.
Yeah, we love it. We love everything about it. But anyways, whenever you go in there, you were a kid. You grew up in Utah, right? Mm-hmm. Fan of the Utah Jazz.
Die hard growing up.
I think you told me you used to break into the building to watch Utah Jazz.
Yeah, I mean, during the Last Dance, I remember not having quite enough money to get in. Figured out how to get in.
Yeah, and that was whenever your coach was saying things to Michael Jordan at restaurants the night before.
Yeah, there was a lot of discussion that was happening off. So I don't know how.
So you grow up a fan of the team.
Yeah.
So then you get in a position where you can buy the team and own the team. You and your wife buy the team 3 years ago. All-Star game coming to town, and you decide to trade away the two biggest stars and say, hey, we're going to rebuild this whole thing. I assume at the time was frowned upon by Jazz fans, NBA, or how have the Jazz fans been with you being the owner? Because it's sold. When we were there, the place was electric. How do they feel about you being the owner, and also those moves early, how was it received?
Yeah, so it's probably not the ideal start you want to do when you kind of draw it up and you're coming in and you're saying, hey, like we're in the middle of something. You're seeing a lot of teams right now that are going all in. I mean, I think in the West we've got 7 or 8 teams who are literally going all in on their franchises, and they're making decisions that, they're really taking assets from the future and pushing them in right now, and kind of tomorrow always comes, right? We were at the tail end of that with Donovan and Rudy and everything, and we just kind of had a chance where it felt like we needed to retool a bit to be able to go, and we had a couple teams look at offering some pretty big packages and coming off where it would have set us up for a future, maybe try to open up another championship window. We got together with Danny and Justin and said, hey, this is a really good opportunity, and so we're going to do it. So I think starting out, that's it. Our fans are incredible.
Great.
I mean, Utah fans are absolutely incredible. I think we have 251 straight sellouts. The Jazz are really the pinnacle that kind of brings everyone together in Utah.
What do you mean?
Just is I mean, if you take a step back, I mean, Utah's the fastest growing market in the country. It's youngest population in the country. It's the number one economy with the lowest unemployment. And so it's something that everyone can come in. It's like you come in, you're a Jazz fan, we're coming in together, and we really kind of host out from the Jazz for the state. And, you know, you guys come in, and it's a prime example. You come to a game, and that's part of it.
He was sitting next to Dwayne Wade for 4 quarters.
Yeah, I didn't even see him until I sat down, too. So when I did sit down, I was
Did you learn anything?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I know so much stuff now about basketball that I didn't before, naturally by sitting next to him.
Go ahead, D-Butt.
That's actually what I wanted to ask you about. Been a lifelong, pretty much, Miami Heat fan. Obviously, he's the greatest Heat player of all time. Thought he would be a part of that ownership group. He's over there with you in Utah. What's it been like working with Dwayne, and have you given any input as far as the team? What's that been like working with Flash?
Yeah, I mean, so first of all, he's one of one, man.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you know, even if just the first day he walked into the arena as part after our press conference, the entire arena was like on their feet for Dwayne. Think about that.
Mm-hmm.
Someone who competes that hard for that long, wins at that level, to be able to walk in and have everyone on their feet.
Mm-hmm.
Phenomenal businessman, great partner, understands teamwork with incredible championship DNA. So if you look at what we're doing in Utah, Danny, Dwayne, there's a lot of rings between those guys.
Why Dwayne, though? Was there a thought that you needed a player, wanted a player? Or
No, I think it was more of just, I've always been a believer that you put the smartest people around that you can, and you know, it's what you try to do here,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
You're going
Absolutely, Ryan. I've never heard something more true.
Yeah, but you're really trying to build a team and go at it, and anytime you can get Dwayne Wade on your team, you do it.
44 years old, owner of the Jazz. Self-made, I said that. What was your company? Qualtrics. Which was...
So Qualtrics is...
Still a company. Still a company. Great company. Hey,
right,
still doing it.
Still around.
Still doing it.
22 years ago, started in the basement of parents' house, and it's really the ability to help companies and organizations look at their businesses and their companies from the outside in. So you're grabbing feedback, whether you're flying on an airline, whether you're judging the experience of fans, how are they taking it, and then you operate your business. So you guys started kind of on the internet, the pod world. You can see it take off. You can see the feedback in real time as it's coming in. A lot of businesses can't do that, and so that's what we're helping them do.
Oh, nice. For 22 years you've been in that game?
Yeah, man, it's been a long time.
You must have done pretty good to get it.
Yeah,
I'd say.
Yeah, you're giving good feedback. You're giving good information.
That's what it's about.
Have you been able to utilize anything you use from that to now ownership of the Utah Jazz? And is this full time for you now? Is this what you do?
Yeah, Smith Entertainment Group, which is kind of the entity that we created that owns the Delta Center and owns part of Real Salt Lake. Just had a big win the other night.
Oh, yeah.
Picks coming into the playoffs. So we go to Houston Sunday, I believe, or Thursday. Sunday. I don't.
Your folks, we got the Pacers today.
Yeah.
Jazz got the Pacers today. Yeah, what's next?
We're going, and it's a winner take all for that. And so our sports entity is taking a lot of time, but I also still chairman of Qualtrics, and I love that business. I think we're helping people solve a lot of really good problems out there, and everyone needs it. We live in an experience economy. People want that experience. It's something that in business is not disrupted. You won't disrupt experiences. And it's been a big part of my life and what we do, and it's pretty crazy to see.
You're an American dream story, Ryan. You need to know that. I told you that whenever I was talking to you while you were wearing sweet joggers, sick shoes, and a cool backwards hat. I was like, hey, I didn't know much about you before today, but I've Googled you, and after talking to you, you're an inspiration. You're an American dream.
Yeah.
You are an American dream story, Ryan. And I had no idea you existed. I had no clue. So I'm very happy I've learned of you. And also, I think the world's better that you're in it. AJ has a question for you on the screen.
Yeah, Ryan, appreciate you being here. I assume premium seats are what you guys are always trying to add and add into these arenas. When you watch a game, you see people basically sitting on the bench. with the coaches and the players in the NBA game. You see some players usually sitting in the back on the floor, stretching their back because we sell all these seats. Are there any areas of the arena that there's even like a better fan experience where you're looking into figuring out where we can sit?
I mean, look, we took over an arena that's always been sold out, and we're trying to figure out, like, what is the futuristic game experience? I think the way we host is completely different inside arenas. So, for example, in our arena, we built all of these bunker suites where actually it's very similar to soccer if you've been to a Premier League game where you go and you eat and then you come out. I think the floor seats, like if you go into like the Warriors arena, it's crazy. Like there are people sitting next to Steph on the side of the bench there. And it's bizarre. He comes and sits down and the fans' eyes are just...
We were in L.A. I was talking to Chris Paul. Chris Paul was like 2 feet away from me. He was just in the game for the Suns or whatever. I'm like, I'm way too close. I actually thought that to myself. It was April 20th in Los Angeles. So, I mean, there's a lot of things, I'm potentially elevated a little. What's that?
Just you were feeling it. Yeah, you were feeling the electricity in the air.
I might be elevated, a little bit.
Yeah, because it's such a good day.
Such a great day. It was a good day. We were celebrating the day. 420 was a great one. But I was like sitting within hand reach of Chris Paul. And I was like, I'm way too close. Why is this allowed? But that's kind of the NBA, I think.
Well, I mean, you were like pretty much a bench coach the other night. I mean, I actually think you referred to yourself as one of the coaches. And arguably versus the Clippers, you might have had a little bit to do with our victory.
Come on.
Hell yeah. The Kelly Olynyk, I mean.
That was real deal.
That was real. And so that's the experience. I mean, we're trying to provide an experience. If you think about an NBA team, we're truly a media company. Similarly here, where you've got talent that's on the floor, you've got a distribution channel, and you've got this live experience that people can be a part of. And there's nothing like it. There's nothing like it. When you're sitting down there, you're sitting close. And we're just trying to deliver that experience all the way up to anyone in the arena. And then now with what we're doing with streaming, we cut our own cord in Utah, which is kind of crazy, a little controversial. But we've taken that and trying to deliver that same experience, AJ, to everyone, no matter where they're at for our team in this brand.
A little controversial. You got some hell for that, I assume? Yeah.
Well, no. I mean, look.
Yeah.
I come from a world, you asked one of the things with Qualtrics, I come from a world where if you deliver a good experience, the rest takes care of itself.
Boom. Got it.
And we were providing a media situation where we were only showing our games to 1.2 of the 3.3 million people in Utah. And it was very much, this is the experience you're going to get. Anything outside of that, you can't track it. So we cut the cord. We basically signed 5 new media deals where we went over air free for 3.3 million people. Wow. We did streaming. We're now up to 16,000 people who are streaming.
Let's go.
That's a lot. With about,
in Utah,
I would say, well north of 50% of them are tuning into every game. We're creating new content. Our coach and the organization have been incredible to bring that through. And then we also bought our rights outside of Utah. So we're going to Idaho, Wyoming, Washington, and delivering games up there and delivering it in 2 or 3 different ways. So wherever you are and however you consume, that there's a way that you can find our games. We want to take all friction out of watching our games. We're truly in the eyeball business now. And now we're saying, okay, we'll get broad reach. And we think we pretty much 5x'd our market size.
Yeah,
and
that'll do.
Yeah.
That'll do for merch. That'll do for team building. And also the guys that you have on your team are awesome. We talk about Kelly Olynyk. He was so cool that entire evening. But the way you guys played in that particular game, I've only seen you guys play one time. Most electrifying basketball game I've ever been a part of. So I assume
you were a big part of it.
Well, I was in there. I mean, I felt like I was in that game. I literally did. And I was pulling so hard for you. Can't wait to watch tonight, huh? Let's go, Jazz.
Here we go.
Let's go, Jazz. Playing the Pacers. That's going to be tough. A lot of Indiana people are going to be very disappointed with me, but I want to let you know I'm on. What do you want? I coach the Jazz.
Got the jersey.
There's the video proof. I coach the Jazz. How do the other NBA owners feel about you whenever you do stuff like this? And what is the process of talking to other NBA owners when you try to get things passed? For instance, this new in-season mega bowl that we're having, this new in-season tournament, new courts, new everything. How's that get passed, and how do the ownership feel about it? Is there a lot of old mindset in the NBA, new mindset? How is that whole process of developing and growing the NBA?
So one of the things that I love about being part of the league is how innovative we are. I mean, since I've been there, and just like if you look at 3 years, we did a play-in tournament.
That was for Zion, right?
Zion.
You guys did that for Zion? You
Yeah,
guys
we
did that
did.
for Zion?
We did a play-in tournament.
That was for Zion Williamson. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, we
100%.
We saw it. He's out for personal reasons tonight.
He's tired.
And
Hope he gets. He's out yeah.
Again?
and that's it. That's the
Well,
end of the
he's
year.
working on it.
And I think that's working really well. I think if you look at the in-season tournament, these are new disruptive ideas.
Mm-hmm.
And I would argue that, there's a lot of other leagues that need to follow suit on trying to figure out how to disrupt themselves a little bit to innovate towards media landscape, consumption, and where this is going in fan experience. We're going to see how it goes. It's always never as good the first time you do it as the second or the third. But if you look at that play-in tournament at the end of the year where you've got multiple teams that are really coming down, they're playing one game to get in the playoffs, the Heat come in, they go all the way. That's in year like 2, and you're starting to see the success of that. I think you're seeing a lot more attention on what's going on, in 2 nights for this kickoff of this
it's mega
season
ball.
tournament.
Yeah.
It's
And
mega
some-
ball.
with the new courts. I mean, I can see New Jerseys. You see it go down. But kudos to Adam and everyone in that room, whether they're old or they're young. They're willing to disrupt the past to innovate for the future. And that's what the coolest part of being part of that group is.
Yeah.
Is you're starting to see that a lot.
And it's not like that everywhere, especially if there's been, had success. And they talk about the NBA TV ratings all the time. You guys own digital. You guys own social. Like X, whenever NBA's happen, that's where I watch a lot of NBA is on X. I watch a lot on Instagram, on highlights. I assume TikTok is a massive NBA platform. Have you guys figured out how to profit off of that? Have you figured out how to become like the digital sport? Because I feel like that is something that doesn't get talked about. If you guys were to drop ads, by the way, in the middle of highlights, and then those get clipped and then sent out, now we're taking care of the digital stuff, Ryan. You know what I mean? Has that been something you guys have to prepare for? And do you expect and continue growth digital-wise for the entire league?
Adam called and said, hey, like everything you've learned in tech, don't check it at the door. Like we want that as part of our group. It's encouraged. I think probably the most exciting part about the league is what we've done on the global level. And I don't think we begin to harvest. It's much more a brand building. Everything you got is for the brand. If you actually think about
new store, by the way.
Shout
I'm just pitching it.
Thank you.
But
15% off all week.
Okay. But like everything that we're seeing is this global game. I mean, I was in Croatia over the summer, and there were cities where basketball was everything. Like it wasn't football, it wasn't soccer. It was just basketball. And I was like, holy cow. But then you look at it and it's like, well, Luka's an hour away and Jokic is not that far away. Like, and you're starting to see this movement of basketball globally, NBA Africa. It's pretty impactful if you think and you just actually project out where the NBA can be. I'm pretty bullish on this league.
Yeah, great sport, continuing to grow. You got Wemby, right?
Yeah, right.
France. You got the Greek Freak.
Yep.
Joker, obviously, you said. Luka, you said. And I assume there's somebody else from... Oh, Markkanen.
Yeah. Markkanen's a beast.
What, he went and served, and he just came back and just...
2 months.
He went and did his military work. I mean, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, and they came back and just started draining threes.
Yeah, I mean, he's 7-footer. I think he's taken the third most threes in the league with the third most accuracy, which is pretty crazy.
Pretty good.
That'll play.
Pretty good, I think.
Yeah,
I think it's
not
pretty
bad.
good. Connor has a question for you about Utah.
Yeah, tell Danny to send Lori back to Boston. But with Utah, obviously you guys had those two, major players with Rudy and Donovan, and stuff happened between those two, and then Rudy gave like 50 reporters COVID, so like things happened like that.
Was that at yours? That was at your place where he did the fingies, the COVID fingies.
Yeah, that was.
Nobody
knew.
Ryan told him to, I think.
Did you?
I wasn't involved at that time. This was prior to my time. I
that's
came
why
in
he got the
post-COVID,
smart.
post-bubble. Like this is
Genius. Okay,
but you did see it though. You were a fan of the Jazz. You saw the COVID fingies.
Yeah.
I mean, it actually shows you the power of the league. Like the league shut down that day, and it almost felt like the world shut down. As well.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody
That was a
panicked.
moment.
You remember, it was in an NBA game where they're like, everybody needs to get out of the arena. Please do not panic, but you need to get out of here immediately. You heard an actual lady yell. The Jazz were part of that game, no?
They were part of that game.
Crazy.
You weren't the owner at the time.
No. So there's a much different situation. But one of the things with the NBA is like Cheech and Chong are getting $100 million contracts, and you're an owner, so you're paying these contracts. How does that conversation go with the other owners? Because obviously there's the escalators with the All-NBA teams and everything, and you want your guys to do well, but if they don't make an All-NBA team, they're not getting $300 million. How does that kind of be scaled when you guys are figuring that out? Whether it's the length of time with the team, obviously the awards, which change now with the 65 game rule in order to get those awards. Are you guys talking to each other like, okay, we should pay these guys upwards of $300 million? Because I mean, now a lot of players are going to come into the NBA and then leave the NBA as billionaires because of how much money there are.
No, it's a beautiful world, right?
Yeah, for them.
No, for all
I think for everyone. Like I think from an ownership, I don't think you've ever had an ownership groups within the NBA that are so motivated to win. Like the competitiveness between us is at a level where you've got owners saying, "Hey, we're going to take it right to the max. We're going to spend as much as we can." There's something invigorating about some of these markets. They literally need to be on heaters to fill that up and to fill what you guys felt the other night.
Oh, that was awesome.
I mean, playoff basketball is something that's pretty invigorating. But at the same time, we're all partners, and I think we just went through the CBA with the players. It was pretty harmonious if you actually think about going through that together. And nothing's ever perfect, and you're tweaking. But I think everyone on both sides feels like, look, the brand's in a really good spot, and we're moving together, and we're gonna be partners in the meetings and off the court. I'll talk to different folks about TV or other things from different teams all the time. But that night when we're facing each other, we want to destroy each other.
Yeah,
and that's how it goes. And if someone can get a competitive advantage by signing a player, and the other thing is you never know. You never know that when you sign this individual, or you don't sign someone, how it's going to go, because you've seen people go off to a next team. I mean, Lowry's a great example of that. I mean, we got Lowry marketing in the Donovan trade, and I mean, look what he's done. I mean, you would have thought that hosting the All-Star game before that, and then to have Lowry the next year starting in the All-Star game, which you guys are going to have here in Indiana.
Yeah, absolutely.
Can't wait.
This upcoming offseason.
This offseason. So
We got
you
Halliburton
don't always know. It's not a perfect science, but typically I think those awards and the system there is like if someone can go and compete and in their position rise to the top, it's normally a much safer bet.
Are you in those negotiations there? Because he said Cheech and Chong, and I didn't know if he was just talking about you guys not testing for weed, which is sweet. And awesome. I do appreciate you guys doing that, talking about trailblazing and what other leagues need to do. Shout out to Utah, too, and Indiana. And congrats to Ohio.
Yeah,
Ohio just yesterday.
Good work, AJ.
Just yesterday. Cleveland Cavaliers are all clear. You know what I mean? They could just walk right to the store, buy their weed, smoke their weed, go play basketball. Nobody cares.
Donovan Mitchell.
That's 2023.
Yeah, exactly.
Way to go.
You did it. Welcome to the future.
But whenever you're talking, we're not talking about just high guys. We're talking about like guy number 9 or 10 on the roster that we've never heard of before. And a deal gets announced in a free agency. It's like old, I won't say Joseph Smith, obviously, but like John Smith,
Yeah, sure.
John Smith.
Yeah.
Signed for $92 million or something like that. Are you a part of all those? How's that go? Danny Ainge handles it, and then owners are just kind of hands off? Because in the NFL, it's mostly GMs, and then the owners are just paying the check pretty much. In the NBA, how involved are you, and what is the norm pretty much in those processes?
Yeah, so obviously Danny and Justin and coach are, typically if they're coming in with a good idea and something they want to do, it's pretty hard for me to say, oh no, I'm not going to back that, right?
That would be sweet. You said, Danny, you're wrong.
You don't know anything.
Yeah, I've got my own draft board. You keep yours over there. But like, I think that, it's pretty much kind of math, and you've got so many pieces of the pizza as far as allocation of salary that you can have. And if someone comes in on a max deal, they're going to take 3 to 4 slices of your 10. And then there's rules in place of what you can do. I think fans a lot of times think, oh, I can just reach up and grab that person. Well, you've got to match salaries now with the new CBA coming in next year where if you're over that second tier, you start losing draft picks if you're there, and it's hard to get out. And so it's a little more complicated, but we have a whole group of people sitting in the back room that are sitting in their computers, and they're running financial models and analysis and rules and understanding the CBA, and you've got ChatGPT that's got the CBA in it. You can type in anything you want. Yeah. I mean,
tag team
it's all there, and I think you've got to get lucky. Timing's everything. So if you have really good young players and you're growing part of your talent, then you can attract some free agents. So the mix that you have is really important as these championship windows open up. So if you look in the league, there's a lot of teams who are right there, but they don't have the youth. So ultimately, that's going to spin out. Or you've got teams that have a couple young stars who are still on a smaller contract, and then they can reach up and go grab some of the old. So it's all part of the balance, and this is why you surround yourself with super smart people to say, hey, I like your idea, but you got blind spots here, here, and here, and this is what we do.
Similar to the NFL, I think.
Yeah.
That's kind of similar to the NFL. Ty has a question for you.
Speaking of like the free agents, you mentioned how Utah is one of the fastest growing markets right now, and I think when we were out there, it was the first time any of us had been out there, but it was incredible. I mean, it was awesome, and I feel like it's something that people don't really know about. But you also mentioned how like 7 teams in the West right now are kind of going all in, and even though Utah is growing, you guys are obviously still a small market. In terms of like free agency, how do you battle like the 2 LA teams and, the Warriors and the Suns and all these other, and, even in the East, the Knicks and teams like that? How do you battle with those massive market teams who stars kind of seemingly always want to gravitate towards? Like, is that something you guys have to be very conscious about moving forward? Obviously, with some of the trades you've had, you're going to get a lot of draft picks. So, homegrown talent is going to be, paramount going forward. But how much do you kind of need to balance, like, we want to try to be very aggressive in free agency, trying to convince these guys to come out to Salt Lake City, and kind of growing your team within the draft and all that kind of stuff?
It's a really good question because it's everything on the corner. I don't think it's either. I mean, we have the most first round unprotected
hell of a
picks
play by Danny Ainge.
in the NBA going forward. So there is a big component of what we see about growing our talent. If you look at Donovan, he was drafted. If you look at Rudy, he was drafted. You look at Darren Williams, he was drafted. You look at John and Carl, they were all drafted. And actually, if you actually go look around the league, there's a lot less big free agent movement than you would think if you actually go study that out. And so that's got to be a core. And then you've got to reach up and you've got to be able to go attract some free agents. I mean, one of our big things is I don't believe Utah's a small market. There is nothing that we have in common with other small markets. I mean, you can get on a plane and go right to London, Amsterdam, Paris. We've got, I think, the 3rd best tech ecosystem. Everyone who came out from All-Star kind of saw that. I mean, what we normally get knocked for is nightlife. Right, but during All-Star, we stood up.
That caffeine is ice cold.
In All-Star, we stood up nightlife in like 2 weeks. It wasn't hard at all. Standing up a tech ecosystem, that's hard.
Right.
That's like really, really hard. And we got 7 million people that come in there. And I already talked about the youngest demographic, number one economy. It's just going to get better. You're betting on youth, that much youth inside your state. It's unbelievable. And so part of this is just showing it. People coming out. Everyone who comes out to Utah has a similar experience. I didn't meet one person who came out from All-Star that wasn't like, dang, that was amazing. Like, I got to be out here more. It's good. It's good.
Unreal.
And it's wellness. I think people want to get out more right now, and they come out, and it's just like, even when you fly in there, you're looking around, you're going, this is epic.
Yeah.
And so now people can work there, and if their first job doesn't work out, the second job is right there in that same location. And plus people want to be around families. They want to spread out a little bit more, and that's why people are moving there. We don't need more people in Utah. We just need to highlight what's going on there, and that's our job. That's our job. There's a good chance the Olympics are coming back there.
Ooh.
Is that breaking news or no? Is that breaking news?
I think it's pretty clear that 34 is looking pretty sharp for Utah.
Yeah, well, we didn't know that. Go ahead and put it on the ticket.
Are you kidding me?
Hey, awesome.
It's not done till it's done, but we've got great.
Sounds like
we've got great people in Utah that are doing a great job. And when the Olympics was there in 2002, it was incredible. And so that's just another moment for the state and why we're so bullish on it.
Speaking of, go ahead, Tone.
Yeah, you talked about Real Salt Lake, and then obviously you have the Jazz. Is that the end goal, or is there a goal to you want to be like a Stan Kroenke that owns 5 teams, or are you looking at other sports leagues? What's the future look like for you?
So it's definitely not the end goal, and that's not where it's going to stop. I've talked to Gary a bunch. There's no secret about how hockey would do there. You've got to go right there.
Hell yeah.
Right?
Hockey's awesome.
Winter sport, you can see it. I think most of the other winter sports train in Utah for Olympics, so that's a big thing. And at Smith Entertainment Group, we're open to all of it. I mean, we want to be a part of everything Utah. A lot of people I know are in my spot are okay going, Premier League somewhere else. I am all about Utah. Like, I want to do sports. It's something we're in, but I want to do it in Utah because I believe in what's happening there and where this is going. And you're all going to kind of remember this conversation and be like, I remember we were talking about that 10 years ago. Like, holy cow, look at what's happened there.
That guy with that backwards hat, really cool. We've been to Utah because the Utah Utes.
Love
Isn't that why we're out there?
Yeah, it is.
Utah Utes.
Mm-hmm.
They were just awesome.
They're the best.
Yeah, how many sellouts did they have straight there?
I think they had 82, 83 straight
yeah, the
sellouts.
Utah Utes. They were
Came
awesome.
out.
Cam Rising.
6 a.m.
Yeah,
6 a.m. They were all out there.
Yeah, going
Coach Winningham
crazy.
came in on a Harley, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
They were
just
awesome.
like you. He was matching you up.
Boom. And now he did beat me in an arm wrestling match, but he wouldn't take his shirt off
True.
in front of the
True.
crowd.
Who
So
really
we don't know
won?
if the football gods punished him for that particular game. That's not an easy place to play at all. Utah Utes fans are fantastic. They were saying some stuff about another school in Utah, though. Weren't they?
Yeah. We're not quiet about it.
Yeah, Brigham
Place.
Young University, I believe
Yeah.
is what they were saying. They were saying a word that we're not allowed to say that J.J. Watt always says on this show, BYU.
By the way, do you know what it's like? I played in the summer. I played JJ in pickleball. Trying to get a ball around JJ,
impossible.
It's impossible.
Just kind of a low-key drop there, too.
Yeah,
we get to just play pickleball with JJ.
No.
Well,
Oh,
yeah.
I'm actually challenging him because this has got to be a thing. He's gotten a lot better, but it's not a fair fight.
Where at?
What'd you guys do? Was this some...
We just meet up. We're pickleball guys.
So where's this, a billionaire club somewhere?
No,
Yeah.
it's not a billionaire
You
club.
guys own a
Yes, it
sports...
is.
He owns
He owns a
Burnley.
team, too.
Yeah.
Burnley, I like what he's doing with that, buddy.
They're
suck.
terrible.
They're
They
not
are
very
so
good.
bad.
Yeah. You talking?
They're
But
so
he-
bad. We've been following along, maybe too
A
closely.
little too closely.
Maybe too
Is
close.
are you nudging him on that?
Yeah, every show.
They can't win a game, Ryan.
That's our soccer expert back there, Gumpy. He was sitting next to me. Yeah, the Burnley team kind of stinks, but ownership's awesome. Joining us now, ladies and gentlemen, the Burnley owner, J.J. Watt.
Yeah.
JJ.
What, JJ? You're back on,
JJ.
Okay.
bro. I didn't know they were coming at Burnley so hard,
everybody-
man.
Everybody calm down. I walk in and I hear a lot of slander going on.
No, we're from one owner to another. and we're trying to give him.
I was building up how hard it is to get a pickleball around you, bro.
Okay, that's fair. I didn't hear that part. I just heard a lot of Burnley talking here. And
Well,
I didn't know what I was walking into on the Burnley side. I was saying you were doing a pretty good job with it and how you were repping it.
Yeah, where do you and Ryan play pickleball at? You guys have some sports ownership group meetings that you guys all have together, group texts and things like that, JJ?
Yeah. Ryan is a very good athlete. It's pretty impressive. Very good golfer, very good pickleball player, obviously good at basketball, sneaky good athlete.
Where do you guys play?
On pickleball courts.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
This is
okay.
one of the
Secret.
secret. All right, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, JJ Watt. Thank you, JJ. Thank you, JJ. What type of weird shit you guys doing?
What the? In a
That's
submarine
what I just
somewhere?
heard right there.
Under the Denver airport, you guys play?
Oh,
That makes sense.
you love Utah,
Love it.
but it does feel like there's a potential two sides of Utah. The ones that wear the red, and I'm not talking politics here. The ones that wear red, and then the ones that wear blue. And the blue would be BYU.
Yes, sir.
You're a BYU grad.
I am.
Oh.
What happened against West Virginia this past week? Tough.
It wasn't
Oh
good.
my
It was a
God.
rough,
You guys
it was a rough
suck.
week. It was bad. It was bad.
Worse than Burnley.
Yeah.
That's saying something.
Yeah.
It was tough, and Pat, you texted me through that, and just not a good day for all of our BYU guys and the BYU guys in the league. It was just
They all heard it. Yeah.
Oh, they all heard it.
Yeah, I tried my best to relay the message to
Yeah.
all of them
The
because
Kyle?
that is something. Kyle Van Noy certainly had to experience that. Austin Coley had to experience that. Who's the tight end from Pitta?
Dennis
Pitta.
That's Pitta back.
Great dude.
There's a lot.
Jaron Hall had a bad day.
Who's
Aaron
that?
Hall,
Warner go to BYU?
Fred.
Fred Warner.
Yeah.
Oh, Fred.
Oh, yeah, he did.
Fred Warner.
Yep.
Kurt.
We got a lot of kids out there.
Mormons are dogs, dude, in football. And why do you think that is? Why do you think the Mormons are all... Puka's unbelievable. Why do you think the Mormons all sneaky athletes? You heard how JJ talked about you. It's like every Mormon I've met has basically looked the same. Pretty much.
Because all those
In a
guys
good
look
way.
the exact same.
Pretty much.
In a good way.
I mean, kind of. You know, super handsome is pretty much all of that. Very attractive. The more, but also very athletic. It feels like. Why do you think the Mormons have taken the sport so well?
It's just in the DNA, man. I think normally a lot of us come from big families, and that's just part of it. It's what you do. You play with your siblings. You play with your friends. And, you get out of the house and roll. I mean, I think for me, I didn't play in the league or any of that, but watching these guys come out, whether it's Puka or, a lot of them are playing multiple sports. Dennis Pitta, Taysom,
Chris Hogan.
Yeah, these guys are they could go pro in a lot of different things. I mean, look at Ainge, right? I mean, 3 sports.
I think the discipline, though, is a big deal. I think, obviously, that is just something that's very natural for you guys. And I think people talk about any religion whatever they do in a certain way. But the amount of discipline that Mormons have to showcase to remain in LDS, but then also you have to be a human. And I think that bodes well for sports. I think I've never met a Mormon that has been so ridiculously out of touch. Now, granted, I'm sure they exist. But all Mormons I've met with have been very cool, talking to me, not judgy at all about anything, very open, but also very disciplined. I think those are 2 very good things to have whenever it comes to sports.
No, there's definitely a big mental side of sports, right? And you got to be pretty sharp to be able to do it. And but there's a lot of Mormons who aren't good at sports either as well.
Well, those are the
I didn't meet them. I haven't met them. I've only met the athletic ones.
Those are the Mormons that do the soaking, right? Because they're not focused on sports the whole day.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, the bad ones.
Well, the athletes are needed, though, for the earthquake part.
Exactly, and that's why they're just locked in.
Makes sense.
Extra reps.
If you guys believe this, I got some really good business ideas for you.
What are you talking about?
Believe
what? Believe what?
Will you invest in them? Will you fund those business ideas?
Hold on, just real quick.
Like a super soaker?
What don't you believe? You don't believe that there's... We definitely believe that there's somebody on the lower bunk.
Yes.
Going like this. I think that's
that's real.
Yeah.
Nothing
I'm not
wrong
that
with
old,
it.
but it wasn't around when I was in
Kyle's
college.
one who told me.
No.
Jeez.
Kyle didn't tell you.
Yeah,
he did.
No.
Kyle was soaking all over the place.
Yeah.
Call him.
They called him the super soaker.
He might be in the middle of practice, but
He told you that, but you couldn't get his shirt off for an arm wrestle?
well, that was Kyle Whittingham, who also went to BYU, didn't he?
Yeah, he's a stud. What an incredible coach.
Yeah, dog.
I think he's top 3, 4 in the country.
Their team, they got killed last week.
Yeah,
Got
they
a big
did.
one this week.
Yeah, I got another one. And people are just kind of casting it off. I think we all forget they won 29-30 in there. Yeah. And then Oregon goes in and does their thing. Washington, I think. Yeah. I mean, that is a huge, huge game. If Penix and Washington play anything like they played a couple weeks ago when they were sick, allegedly, is what I've been told. Yeah. Like that Utah team, ladies and gentlemen, joining us now, representing the Church of Latter-day Saints, Kyle Van Noy.
Yeah, boy, Kyle.
Oh, Kyle.
Hey, hurry up. I got to go to practice.
What's up,
Hey,
brother?
I've been told, okay, this guy said don't believe it when we talk about soaking and earthquaking. He said this isn't real. He said this isn't real.
Kyle, when we were in college, this was not a thing. I don't know what these young kids are up to, but that wasn't a thing when we were around.
I feel you, Ryan. These kids are crazy these days. And it's a bunch of bullshit that Pat is pouring on to the fire.
No!
Whoa! Hell yeah.
I would never do that.
Hey, it's good. It's good to see you, man.
You too. I'm doing good. Are you doing good?
Yeah,
you look good.
I'm doing great. It's good to see you right where you're supposed to be.
That's right.
My man, thank you. Hey, it was just yesterday we were at the golf course talking. That's great.
Yeah. Hey, he has a hole in one. Did you see that?
Who, Kyle does?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of question marks.
some
around
people
it.
don't
A lot of
believe it.
people don't believe it.
Mm-hmm. No, I believe it. He's an athlete.
I gotta go.
Single-handedly can win a game.
All right, see you, Kyle.
Go practice, Kyle.
So I don't know. I couldn't
Who
hear
else are
because
you pulling up here? I mean, this is incredible.
Well, all of this is allegedly illegal in the whole live TV thing.
Oh, yeah.
Because we're just calling people out of nowhere.
Yeah,
But-
I'm curious to see who's coming on next.
Hey, we're a big cold call show. We are a big cold call show.
Who's the coach of your Real Salt Lake team? Because we got a guy that's Tony Miola. He should be.
Yeah, you need to hire Tony Miola.
Consideration.
Well,
they're in the playoffs.
I was going to say.
what the hell's the playoffs,
And if they
bro?
don't win the whole thing,
Don't be
Tony
how
Miola's
old
your
is
guy.
Yeah, so, I mean, this guy's going to put a good pitch together here if we get a hold of him.
Hey, but the Real going into penalties, winning in penalties the other night.
The best.
It's
Is that against Atlanta?
incredible. It is incredible. We're playing Houston.
No.
Best of 3.
You're playing Houston right now
Oh,
still.
best of 3.
Because then he go perfect. If somebody went perfect, I watched it.
We did.
Goalie made one save. That was you guys?
Yeah, and the goalie made a save.
The first save.
Yeah, made the first save, and then
then
we went
perfect.
perfect. And a couple of them were up high.
Yeah, they went
Where
for
you're
it.
like, that's the one that's like, okay, this is going to fly up over, and we were perfect.
So, are you going to try to get Messi on your team or what?
I think he's already taken.
No, you could trade, right?
Yeah,
We just talked
trade.
about
Yeah,
Nope.
You just have to trade like a few mountains, I think.
Yeah, we'd have to do that. We'd have to bring in another TV deal to.
Yeah.
Joining us now is a man who maybe is coach of the future United States soccer team and maybe Real Salt Lake. I mean, we have no idea. Ladies and gentlemen, soccer royalty, Tony Miola. Tony, this guy owns Real Salt Lake. What do we need to know about his team? Are we going to get a big-time win over Houston here in the playoffs? Or are we going to win it all?
They need one down in Houston, don't they? They did a good job a couple nights ago, and now they're playing a really good Houston side. Yeah, but I was just on the radio. He'll know Brian Dunseth, my radio partner,
sure, man.
Sirius, lives in Salt Lake, and he picked Salt Lake to go through. So hopefully he's right.
Tony, you think anybody's going to really care about this championship because Messi isn't playing in it? That's something we should have got that figured out, don't we think, Tony? Don't we think we should have got Messi in there?
I think it got figured out just the way it's supposed to get figured out, my man. Yeah, they'll care about it. Look, it's an MLS Cup.
Amen.
Sorry, man, you caught me on the bike right here. So,
dude, you're pulling people off the Peloton.
I have the New England game tonight. New England against Philly game. So I was just getting the bike right.
Philly doesn't stand it.
What time? Where at?
7:30 Fox.
All right, let's go. Have a good one tonight,
Tell Brian
Tony.
what's up for me. Tell Brian what's up.
Go Reds.
That guy could be your coach. He's on Peloton middle of the day. He's got a ball game.
Peloton. You guys are pulling him off the Peloton.
Only time I've ever talked to him is just cold calling him in the middle of the show. Never met him in real life.
I mean, who else are we going to We're dialing for dollars here.
Let's go to your phone.
Let's call Adam Silver.
Let's go to
Adam Silver.
Hey, let's call MJ.
Yeah, how's that?
Steve Young.
You are a golfer, though. Kyle talks about.
I am a golfer.
That's what your hobby is.
I play golf. What I do. That's how Danny and I know each other. It's how I got to know Dwayne. Like, golf is an incredible sport. It's how you. I mean, it's incredible the people that you can meet and you get to spend time with that you would never normally be able to spend 4 or 5 hours with, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, good business, they say, out on the golf course. Sounds like it has done you very well.
It's first of all, it's my yoga, because when you're playing golf, you can't think about anything else. And so if I look back on my career, it's like when I go play golf, it was like, wow, I just totally thought about nothing for 3 hours. Mm-hmm. You got to focus on that little ball, and then you're also outside.
It's a good time.
Love it.
And then you're with people. And so it's like a triple.
Mm-hmm.
Like the three things.
You love it.
I love it. Absolutely love it. And you can never beat it. Sure. You can never master it. I'm
What's
going to
your-
go hit a
what's your
hole in
handicap?
one. I'm like a 2.
You're about to say something
Yeah,
about
we're going to go hit a hole in one out back. I saw him coming in.
Foxy hit one on the 75-yard hole. And I think it only took him like
75?
562 balls.
Yeah, it was a lot of balls, about 3 or 4 weeks worth every single day.
And you're just going to come out here. You think you can handle these Indiana wins?
You're going to have to manage it. I saw Dwayne hit a hole in one on Pebble Beach on number 7. And I was like, how in the world? I've teed up there so many times trying to hit.
That's so cool, by the way. Oh, my God.
He gets a hole in one on number 7 at Pebble. Like, that is insane.
Dream.
I was like, there's no way that's real. And sure enough.
Did you ever play with Michael Jordan?
I have.
How'd that go? Is that how we
He's
bought
competitive.
the Jazz?
He's competitive. He's competitive.
Is that how we bought the Jazz?
No, it's not how we bought the Jazz.
Are you upset that he's gone? That he's out of the league?
Oh man, a little bit. Yeah, for sure. I'd lie if I wasn't saying I was. Like he's actually super helpful in having the GOAT sit there.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
And just look across and be like, wow, this is cool. And when he speaks, it matters. And yeah, I would lie. I told him before, like, man, that sucks that you're going, but I also get it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's tough not to get.
And also, like, 100,000 in the stroke.
Yeah, I don't get in that.
I didn't know.
That's more like JJ. That's like JJ. That's like JJ F-bomb money.
Yeah, you're damn right.
Yeah.
He's
Boo-Ray.
He's throwing them
That's
around.
Boo-Ray.
Hey, which is a game. I don't know if you've ever played it. Stay away from it.
I'd stay away.
In your ownership, Sports Smith Entertainment, or Sports, you get it. SEG?
SEG.
Hell yeah. Let's make that thing public, by the way.
Please.
You know what I mean? Let's invest in that entire thing. Have you ever had to fire a coach yet?
No.
Okay, so there's news coming out of the MLS. David Tepper, who's the owner of Charlotte FC, he has fired 2 coaches in 18 months down there for Charlotte FC, okay? This guy also owner in the NFL, the Carolina Panthers. He has technically fired or let go 4 coaches since 2019. He's on his 5th coach. So obviously, head coach Ron Rivera got fired middle of the season. Interim came in. We didn't remember this guy was the interim. This is just a few years back. He's let go after the season. He's not right. Matt Rule comes in out of Baylor. They give him $70 million guaranteed. He's fired after firing every other one of the coaches that are on staff both the past 2 years. Interim head coach Steve Wilkes, he does good actually. Let him go after the season. Now Frank Reich is sitting there looking miserable.
Terrible.
Staring down a potential another firing with another interim coach. It's just like he obviously is a guy who would like this to move much quicker. Their record since like 2000 whatever is way below.
So bad.
Way below 500. He has had a miserable experience as the owner of the Panthers. I don't know how it has been with the Charlotte FC. And then you hear some owners that just like preach patience. Like, you got to be patient. Got to be patient. Feels like you understood that patience was going to be the key to this thing. But how do you know when to move on in professional sports? Not you've had to do it. And why do you think some ownerships are like that and they're just going to cycle through until they can't make it? How do you find the balance of expecting now, but also not letting a terrible coach potentially run too long?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a good question. When, I don't want to get into other people's world because I don't know all the circumstances that are going on there, but, going through our first experience, like with Will, who we absolutely love. I think he's going to be a star in the league. And really sitting down with Danny. If you look at Danny's history, it's like he hired Brad Stevens here out of Butler.
Mm-hmm.
And, I think that historically in Boston, there was, even before Doc, some coaches, whether it was Patino or whatever, didn't last that long. And so there was probably a lot of fear from someone coming out of college to come in and take that job, knowing that, hey, maybe, you're one and done, or you're 2 years and out, and you're giving up such an amazing college opportunity or another opportunity.
Back-to-back Final Fours.
Yeah, and I remember listening to Sean Payton when he joined Denver, and he said, hey, what I'm looking for is I'm looking for kind of this triad. I'm looking for ownership, GM, and me as a coach, and how that blends together. And so I think when we go through it, we say, hey, we're in it. We're in it to win it. We're all of us are there, and we need to try to get as much of a triad as we can there, where it all works together. And then, we're kind of in it through thick and thin. And I just remember being a first-time CEO, and my investors that came and invested in me, they could have easily said, holy cow, can you believe Ryan did this, or do you think this happened? But
he's soaked.
They hung through it with me, and they literally went through and kept educating, kept working, and we ended up having a pretty epic run in tech. And I believe that same philosophy is that we all go through it together. The biggest thing is we just keep getting better and better and better every year. And so for me, the way that I think through this is why that team around me and ownership is so important, that we can actually see and assess everything and go together. And I like the vibe we have within our organization right now, the vibe with Will and everything else.
Tepper's just rolled through coaches.
Does not care.
Don't like the vibe, get me out here. Don't like this vibe, get me out here. Don't like this vibe, get me out of here. Don't like this vibe, get me out of here. How about Charlotte FC? Don't like this vibe, get me out of here. Don't like this vibe, get me out of here.
D2 that he was building.
Oh, yeah, the building in the other town.
Mm-hmm.
Don't like the vibe, town's not paying, file bankruptcy, I'm out of here.
See ya.
But I think the other thing is just understanding the details. What we took over, Larry Miller, who was the owner of the Jazz prior, and Jerry Sloan had a 17-year run. And Larry was in all of the details of what Jerry was doing. Not because it seemed like he wanted to be there, but when things weren't going well, he wanted to make sure that he knew the effort that was going in. And so for me, I want to know everything that's going on in the organization so that I'm not having to guess. I already know, because times are going to get tough in sports. That's what you're signing up for. And if you know everything that's going on, you know the amount of work that's being put in. I'll never forget, as a young CEO sitting in a board meeting where someone's like, hey, that bet you made out in Europe, let's just stop it right now. And I was like, actually, no. I've been out there. I've met with the customers. I met with the people. It's right. It's just not hitting right now.
Got it.
4 quarters later, the thing was popping.
That'd feel pretty good.
Yeah.
And so there's a couple of those where if you're not in those details, then you're kind of taking everyone's word for it.
Yeah. Well, Tepper meets a Frank Reich every single game.
Yeah, that's right.
And Frank Reich has talked about how terrible that is. It's not fun. We get better from it. Do you talk with Coach Hardy a lot?
A lot. I'll see him this afternoon. Text him last night.
Tell him Tell him he's doing a great job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell him I like how fiery he is, too. He says a lot of J.J. Watt words.
Oh.
I appreciated that.
Well, I mean, I think that, you can tell him you'll be on his bench. You'll be part of his bench tonight.
Can't wait. We're winning another one. No offense, Pacers. I love Indiana, but also I'm on team. So sorry about it. All right, that's wrapping up this Trenches Wednesday on ESPN. We can't thank you enough for joining us. Shout out to Ryan Smith. Aaron Jones. Our future legends out here. We'll be back tomorrow with NFL Week 10 kicking off with Panthers Bears. Dave Tepper might fire another coach. See you then. All right, we're back. We're still live. We're still live. You need to know that.
Just on the YouTube.
Live.
So now
switching to YouTube.
Yep.
Yeah.
You can
Well, we're
say-
still on YouTube.
All right.
And also, the wire on your left one is shooting straight out the side.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you should put it up.
Yeah.
Up. Boom. Yeah. We messed that up. I messed that up. Oh, no.
You got it.
I got it, bro.
That hoodie is sweet. I need one of those.
Yeah,
we'll
bring
get you
back the
we'll get you
purple.
outfitted. It's
Send the joggers too.
Oh, we got some good stuff coming.
Purple?
We got some good stuff coming.
Okay.
That's our high school color, bro.
Ooh, is it?
We've been
Yeah.
we've been purple.
Yeah, plum, we were the Mustangs.
You like it?
Yes.
How much purple do you have in your wardrobe?
Tons.
Tons.
Well, that's because it was our high school stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, if it
But
wasn't for
we
that,
got some
not
good
that
stuff.
much.
This is pretty dope. This
Yeah,
is
that's
our
awesome.
this is our new city edition that came out. I think it was voted #1 city edition uniform.
By far.
Oh, no big deal.
No, it's good. It's like I think it's we're getting into like jersey frenzy.
Oh, yeah.
It's coming out. It's like we're already planning like 26, 27 and all this, but we got some good stuff.
The other ones are so bad compared to
Even
Utah's.
Miami still?
Yeah, heat culture. I don't know how you feel about it.
I don't.
but
I
the,
don't like
the Boston ones got worse. Like the Utah Jazz are the only ones that have unbelievable city jerseys.
He has a bunch of them, too. Like I think,
Yeah,
right?
we got the yellow and the black, and then we got this,
Yeah.
and we're working through it.
Who was the sweet legend that designed something that you were wearing? There was a guy in a leather jacket.
I think it was Jeff Hamilton,
Oh, this guy.
Dwayne
Gumpy.
jacket. Hey, but you can't look at anything Dwayne wears because like everything looks good.
That leather
right?
jacket was phenomenal.
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
So we're looking around. And there's this gentleman, this lad to the right, wearing this bright brown leather jacket. Appeared if he had the greatest tan of all time. I think he had sunglasses on, hair back, sitting in front row. He's like 65, 70 years old. Like that guy's awesome. And he was like, oh, I'm actually wearing something he designed. So is Dwayne Wade. This guy's like the legend fashion dude out there.
Yeah.
He was a dog.
And you spotted him. You were like,
That guy's somebody.
Yeah, who's that?
Who is this? John Stockton?
No, that was not
bring
John
Stockton back,
He'd
man.
probably still put up a couple threes if he had
he
to.
could probably
kidding me?
still ball. There's no question. That game's ageless.
Yeah, 10 assists in his sleep.
All right, let's get you the hell out of here. Will you? So I'm donating $20,000 to the Five for the Fight.
You are?
Yeah, for the Kelly.
For Kelly Olynyk.
Yeah, for the
That's
Kelly
sweet.
Olynyk.
Did you
But-
tell that story already?
I did, yeah.
Okay, we're not going to do it again.
It's a good story.
It's a great story.
Great story.
It is a good story.
Because, like, I got Kelly's side. I mean, you and I are talking, you're talking with Kelly, and I was like, did he catch that? He caught it all.
We eyed.
You eyed, like, in the game, he caught it all.
Yeah, it was crazy. You were sitting there.
And
And
you have no idea. You had no idea Kelly could rain like that, though.
Oh, I did. I've seen Kelly when he was down in Miami.
Boston.
Yeah.
All right.
KO.
I have seen it. That's why whenever there was a little chatter about would like to see him hit a three, it's like this guy hits threes.
Oh, yeah.
And the thing is, I was coming back, and I just
Boom.
got caught in the tunnel because I couldn't come back onto the court during the play, and then he bombs those. So I'm watching it all, and I was like, holy cow.
Hey, they caught me just slapping the shit out of you. I was pretty
Steve
excited.
Ballmer style.
I apologize. Yeah, I should have grabbed your thigh.
There's a guy.
Should have grabbed your thigh. How is he? You ever?
Great.
Energy's awesome.
Awesome.
Any pool parties with him?
He's a tech guy.
I love him. I mean, obviously growing up in tech and seeing what they were doing, and he's been super cool to me. He was like the second person that called me when we took over. And
Nice.
Like, hey, how you feeling?
Toilets.
Yeah.
Yep.
Is that what he said?
It's great. It's passion. It's he cares, and I think that's awesome.
Hey, good luck tonight. Good luck the rest of the way. Thank you for spending time with us. Dude.
No,
was
it's
awesome.
great. It's not every day I'm in Indiana. This is perfect.
Yeah.
Rolling up here.
Yeah, he said something.
Yeah,
What did he
so,
say?
so
Oh
fly.
yeah, flying in. You said they feel the dreams here. I'll just have you know, as a guy who grew up in Iowa, it was disgusting that you thought that. Not every cornfield's the same.
Yeah, okay. Don't be. All cornfields matter.
They do.
I think that's a compliment, though.
Not every mountain.
It was
not.
great. It was great coming
It's
in.
not.
It was great coming in. I'm
Feels-
excited.
feels
I've been here a
really
bunch.
You have been here a bunch?
Yeah.
Meetings
Watched a
and
couple
such?
games. Meetings.
How's your team match up against? How's our team match
We're going
up?
to see. You guys put up 152, 154 points the other night. That's a lot.
We slapping a wood tonight, or
not
what?
the first time either.
Yeah. So I mean, but that's the league. I mean, we came out against Memphis a couple games ago. I mean, I think we hit almost every single shot, right? And
like
so
that.
the league, you're able to see that. When we played, when the game you guys came against the Clippers, like it was a little bit more back and forth and
cagey.
It really, we match up. We got a couple different lineups, I think, going tonight. So we'll see.
Let's go, boys.
Come
It's
on
our
now.
boy
Let's go.
George's birthday today, too.
Keontae's
Yeah.
birthday, 20 years old.
Dog.
You kid out of Baylor? Is that
Yeah, hell yeah.
Dog, dude. He was balling in the middle of this game with Kawhi out there, Paul George out there, Russell Westbrook out there, obviously happening right in front of us. And he's like, hey, 16 months ago, that guy was in high school. It's like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That is crazy to think about. And then he's out there doing it.
Dwayne was talking about him. I forget the guy who was sitting on the other side of Dwayne, but he was also like a minority owner or whatever. And they were saying, we got to get that kid in the game more.
Yeah, he's a dog. Who's the Lululemon guy? You guys have? Maybe not Lululemon.
Jordan Clarkson.
He's cool.
Yeah. Great tabs.
Long.
Very cool.
Long braids.
JC's
Yeah.
the best.
And
Good player.
Yeah, great player.
Yeah.
Good swag, too.
Yeah, great. Colin Sexton is one of the meanest, toughest sons of bitches in the NBA, too.
I love it. Hey, thanks for letting me be a coach on the team. I can't wait to see Coach Horry tonight. I have some thoughts.
Yeah,
I have some thoughts on how the team
You got to get Will on. We'll get Will on. We'll dial Will one of these times.
This kid's sweet. And I say kid because he is younger than me.
Yeah,
So
again.
He's barking.
He's the best.
he is awesome.
It's awesome.
Great shoe game, too. I feel like you guys have to be swagged out over here with the way this whole
He's a
thing
golfer, too.
Really good golfer?
Good golfer.
Better than you?
It goes back and forth.
Damn.
Oh, so he
But
would
we got a
definitely
good group. We got a good group.
He would definitely hit a hole in one out here, though?
Yeah, I mean, arguably we'd see who get us first, but he would.
The green is tough.
He would scare us.
Tough green. Listen,
Yeah, we're gonna see.
This
We're
ain't
gonna see.
Utah, dude.
Tiny green.
This
We're
ain't
gonna see.
Utah, bro.
Yeah, that's right.
This is Indiana.
We're gonna film this live.
I don't know if we're going to film it live. We'll definitely film it, though.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
We have a camera live out there, though.
Really, this is the thing.
Yeah, we do have a camera just set up out there. I mean, we could definitely send you out there and see how many balls it takes to just kind of check in.
562. Let's go.
That's the record.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
good luck,
yeah.
Fox. I
Dude,
will say
perfect.
he
Dude,
played high
perfect.
school golf. Mm-hmm. He played high school golf.
You got to bounce it before the green, and then it'll go in.
All right, thanks for the pro tip.
You got it.
Sounded like he did not need to hear that.
He just dunked on you.
No, I that's good to know.
Oh, yeah.
That was
that is good to know.
That's not what you said. That's not how you said it.
That saved 50 golf balls.
You said thanks for the tip, bro.
I said the
Yes.
pro tip.
Yeah,
that-
no.
Hey, 75 yards. What club are you hitting out there?
What do you have? Like a 60, 56? If you got to bounce it in, you might want to come in a little lower. Skirt it
this
up
guy.
there.
This
Bingo.
guy's a golfer.
But you have like 400 clubs up there.
Yeah, a lot of people send us clubs. The problem with them, they don't work.
None of them.
None of them
It's
work.
amazing. And then you got like the full putting here. It's like you guys are ready to go.
Yeah.
To go play.
There's, by the way, boom. That's what you're battling. You see that flag flying?
Is that current conditions?
Yeah.
Hey, is that a ball? out there?
Yeah, is there a ball
Already?
on the cup?
That's current conditions right now. Do you
That's
see
tough.
the bend on
is
that?
blustery.
You got no
I
shot.
mean, you're landing that on a VW bus. I mean, look at that.
Bingo.
It's the size of a
Yeah.
coffee
Yeah.
table.
Exactly.
It ain't easy out here, Ryan. Life's tough.
That's
It's a
it.
cold world.
Is the rock formation around it? Is that? I mean, you got to get the right bounce off that.
That's just strictly to separate the grass from the turf so that the people that cut our grass don't
Yep, mow over.
mow the hole.
Yeah, you've learned that one the hard way.
That's a moat. That is actually a moat right there. Let's talk about the foundation, though,
Okay.
that you have started 5 for the Fight. Thus far, you've raised $50 million to cancer research. Shout out to you guys doing that, giving back in a good way.
Oh, yeah.
Cancer's an asshole. We all know that. I'm giving $20,000 for the Kelly 2 back-to-back threes in the fourth quarter after a nice agreement between he and I whenever he was at the scorer's table and I was coaching the Jazz, which I will be doing again this evening. Ryan, is there any way we can get you maybe huck a couple threes to maybe double that donation to 5 for the Fight Foundation?
For sure.
Let's do that.
For sure. Are we
All
going NBA style or what are we doing?
Yeah, I think so. Do you want to shoot an NBA 3? What do you?
I don't
that's
know.
That's a
Whatever you
long
want.
way, Ryan.
Yeah,
Can you
it is
get
a
it
long
there?
way. You got to get your legs in there. It's hard.
So we'll
What
give
are we
you.
doing?
We'll give you 5 shots.
5 shots.
You got to hit 2 of them. NBA 3s.
Do I have to keep this?
No, you can take the ears off.
Okay. 5 shots.
Yep. Oh my gosh.
That's simple.
Let's go. 5 shots.
He's got a good jumper.
Well, you heard Kyle.
40%.
Yeah.
And JJ said, "Hey guys, sneaky athlete. Sneaky athlete."
Which
not
owner's
sure.
which owner's the best at basketball? Is it you?
Balmer.
Oh, look, yeah.
Balmer in the paint.
All right. So either hoop, whichever one you want to go. 5 balls.
Here you go.
AJ, you think he's got it or no?
I think he's gonna make the first one.
He thinks you're going to make the first one. So then you would have to go one of the next 4, which you tell me. You said this hoop's lower, that hoop's lower. Which one? This one's lower?
Ask him about that pickleball court. That seems kind of sketchy.
The one in the summer.
Yeah, where are you guys playing pickle? Don't tell us.
Why are you both?
That's pretty weird the way you and JJ were talking about that.
Yeah.
Okay, so 2 of 5, an extra $20K to 5 for the fight. All you have to do, NBA threes on your own time. Don't even listen to us.
No.
Don't even listen to Connor.
Yeah, definitely don't, because I don't think you're going to make it.
There's only like 10,000 people watching or something like that.
Yeah, that's it.
I think it only takes 3 shots.
Ryan Smith!
1 for 1.
1 for 1. 1 for 1. 1 for 1.
Are we kidding me?
Shut up, Connor. 1 for 1.
What is this?
Hey, I will count
push
that.
league shit.
1 for 1.
What a count?
Well, then move to the right. Your foot's
Big
on the line.
J on the board.
Ryan, I will say this. There's only 47,000 people watching currently live on YouTube.
What you say?
Bingo.
Yeah.
It is exactly like that. Him draining the first
I
one.
told you, he's got a good jumper.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm shooting earlier. No way.
Hey, you got 5 of 5, 100,000. Yeah, you got 5 of 5, 100,000.
Yeah, smart man.
Smart
Smart
play.
I respect
This guy
that.
knows.
Yeah, he knows.
He knows.
Hey, you play craps or?
All right, 2 for 2 right now. He hits his next 3. Boom! Sorry about it.
That was impressive.
All right, so we will give $40,000 to 5 for the. Huh? Yeah.
Yep.
No.
Oh no.
This guy lost.
Oh no. Is he going to go
fault.
3 of
That's
5?
your fault. He could have walked off 2 for 2.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Perfect.
should have stopped.
Is he going to go 3 of? You got to make 1 here on the way out. We're changing our image of this whole thing. Hold on. All right, an extra 10,000. This ball goes in.
All right.
So it'll be a clean 50K if this one goes in from me to 5 for the fight because Kelly and you. Huh?
Yeah.
Kelly's name.
Of course.
All right, you got it.
The real KO.
You miss, I get the team.
Oh!
All right, made it.
Got it.
Made it.
miss,
That
I
was
get
big.
the
That was big.
Yeah, it was.
Great shot.
Ryan,
Serious stakes.
50,000. Thank you so much.
That was
Appreciate
awesome.
you, man.
That was
You are
awesome.
so kind. All right, that's pretty impressive.
That was a good shot.
Not just a suit. Not
No,
just a suit.
Not at all.
Guy's an owner who can drain threes, 50K to 5 for the fight. That's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Thank you to him for joining us. He might hit that hole in one, this son of a bitch.
Yeah, he might.
No, he won't.
Athlete.
Yeah, he might.
Yeah,
Be a
definitely.
friend, tell a friend something nice. We'll be back on the other side. We got a lot to chat about. Andre Agassi's joining us. What a legendary Wednesday this is all kind of seeming to become. You're the best. Cheers. Take 5. I had no idea what to expect whenever I came out here to Utah.
Yeah,
I can't make it.
Steve Smith Sr. Ladies and gentlemen, Pac-12 champion, head coach of the Utah Utes football team, pulling in on a Harley-Davidson Sportster, I do believe, Coach Kyle Whittingham.
Lot of blessings piling up that I ain't even wish for. None left over for y'all. I'm locking the fridge door at the crib, cutting hits. I read through the catalog, came to conclusion, no one's touching this. Just finished the maiden voyage, hopping off the Mayflower. Said I'm shot to kill them off, whatever the take down. Sing the boats, I'm at home. I'm selfish with the goals.
I mean, you got to do it. It is 34 degrees out here in the back-to-back Pac-12 champions. Mighty Utah student section has been here in abundance. They've been loud. In today's a day where they showcase to the world that it's not just Mormons and soaking in Utah. No. It's great football and an incredible fan base. They've been so kind. I appreciate the hell out of you all. Have you ever thought something negative about a kicker before in your entire life?
Yes.
All right, relax, dude. Okay. Boston Connor was drinking with Dwayne Wade last night. $225,000. Let's remember this day forever, Cameron. You know that 29 out of the last 30 home games that happens right here at the University of Utah, the Utah Utes win. Cam Rising said yesterday, we don't lose at home, and today, they ain't losing. This place is going to be soaking in celebration this evening.
You guys were absolutely phenomenal. This morning, you showed everybody that this is a town you don't want to play.
I am jacked, dude.
Lighting's great.
Let's go to the phones. Let's go to Dan in Connecticut. Lovely place here on the 5 Energy phone line. What's going on, Dano?
Oh, what's up, Pat McAfee?
Dan, you are too young to listen to this show. I can tell through. I think. How old?
I'm not Dan. I am Owen.
Mitt. Owen, how old are you?
It's so different.
I am at 8.5.
Oh, that's cute.
8.5. If you're telling us you're half age, you're too young to be listening.
That's a record.
It stinks.
What's on your mind, pal?
What do you want to talk about, Owen?
I want to talk about how inspiring this show is and how you're inspiring this whole entire world with how you're talking about sports and how you're talking about your life experience.
Thank you, Owen.
Owen, thank you.
Love you, Owen.
Thank you,
Owen, I'm taking her on the
And also, fuck Boston.
I will let Owen know, if you're still listening, Owen, you're inspiring.
Best kid ever.
Owen, the way you talk about sports is inspiring.
Yes!
I didn't know 8.5 could do that.
Wow.
Shout out Owen.
That time.
Go, Owen.
Hey, Owen. New generation in Connecticut, I guess.
He was making me feel good, too, by the way. He was making me feel good, making the show feel good. He was talking us up. He was hyping us up, and then boom, a little...
Was this Aristotle's brother?
A little misdirection from Aristotle's brother, Owen, at 8.5 there. That was awesome.
I'd say he put his balls on your forehead, but I don't think they dropped yet. So.
Ladies and gentlemen, a man with the dog mentality, Paisano, Coach Sirianni. You're fucking awesome, dude. Did you ever feel any pressure that you were going to have to change and adapt to being a head coach and speaking in the same bullshit ways that every other head coach talks in?
Some of the best advice I got was be yourself, because if you're not yourself, everyone's going to see through it.
The messaging is the same. You're just doing it in your own way. And I think that's the most important part. And being authentic, you're 100% right. As you were saying, if I wasn't me, everybody who would tell the fucking locker room immediately going to be like, well, this guy, he's a stooge. There's another coach that wants to talk to you. Coach Sirianni, your question for Coach Sirianni.
I feel like I know you just as good as I know myself.
What is it about Jalen, you think, from your point of view, last year to this year, that is like cementing him as a guy that people are talking about? This motherfucker might win the MVP.
Well, I know which one thing you want me to say. He's a dog.
Yeah!
He's a dog.
Yeah, fucking dog!
Do you maybe want to play best 2 out of 3, rock, paper, scissors, coach first coach?
You're there forever, huh? Like, you have to have that mindset as the head coach? Like, do you feel like you're the perfect head coach for the Philadelphia Eagles? Because it feels like the team is the perfect representative of the city of Philadelphia. And I might be wrong. I'm from Pittsburgh, so the Johns are going to judge me for that.
I love the passion of the city and how much they care about football, because I care about football. I love football. I don't have a lot of hobbies. My biggest hobby is football.
Rock, paper, scissors,
scissors,
shoot.
Oh,
What you got?
Scissors.
Yeah, the same person. We both threw scissors.
Dog mentality really is to be in the moment that you're in now and not worry about what happened in the past, not worry about what's going to happen in the future. It's all about our process and about being here today to make sure we're about to go 1-0 this week. That's it.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Oh, one rock. I definitely got Jason Kelsey the kegs of beer. I was just trying to sweeten the deal of him coming back. As long as I'm the football coach here, I want him here, so I'm ready to give as many kegs of beer to him next year and the year after that and the year after that because that guy is a dog.
Rock, paper, scissors,
shoot.
Same man.
We are getting our ass kicked in this preseason game. Belichick is taking it to us. It's halftime, and we are getting booed like you've never been. I was like,
paper,
rock, paper,
scissors,
shoot.
Oh, I think you might have rock there, but hey.
You got no idea what I'm going to do because you're like, there's no way he's throwing scissors again. Come on, baby. I got a damn flower thrown at me. Right? A flower chucked down. We lost to the Chargers. Boom, flower chucked down.
Hey, how's your little manure settling in? That's literally what that John said as they were throwing that John at you. They were like, how's the manure and how's the flowers coming, coach?
Hey, this is game 7 here.
Rock,
paper, scissors,
shoot.
Scissors again. He threw scissors again, so did I. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Oh, you guys are the same. Come on, hey, this is for 15 or 10.
Paper, scissors, shoot.
Oh! Dog mentality.
I got dog mentality, coach. What can I tell you?
Why?
Let's go!
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for. The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers, you pig! Damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life. Sport! Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to the beautiful Thunderdome on this Trenches Wednesday, November 8, 2023. Hour 3 of this program starts now. Football! The amount of things that just happened during the commercial break, I wish we could document and showcase. We got smarter and better last hour as owner of the Utah Jazz joined us. Ryan Smith, we appreciate you, buddy.
Love you, Ryan.
We didn't get to hear a lot of you, AJ. Obviously, it's difficult whenever you're in Columbus, Ohio. We do miss you, and we appreciate you for joining us. The Talks Table is here at Boston Connor and at Ty Schmidt. One half of the Hammer, Dahn. Cowboys, Tone Diggs is here. 12-year NFL vet, Super Bowl champion, AQ Shipley back, and 9-year NFL vet, Darius J. Butler. Joining us now is a man who won 8 Grand Slams in his tennis career. Is that good?
Yeah.
Think so.
Yeah, I'd say he's also Pickleball Slam's only champion. Now, he was with a partner, but it's only happened one time. He won. They're back for Pickleball Slam 2 on February 4th on primetime on ESPN. He's playing alongside his wife.
Love that.
And he's taking on John McEnroe and Maria Sharapova.
Mm-hmm.
Ladies and gentlemen, Andre Agassi. How are you, bud?
That was quite the intro. Thank you so much. I was gonna bust out a shirt like that too. I just didn't think I could pull it off as good.
Andre, you can pull off anything, pal. I mean, you were like the sexiest man on earth there 10 years straight. You can do whatever the hell you need to do. Thank you for joining us. We hope life is good. Hey, we obviously all watched you dominate on the tennis court and watching that first pickleball slam. It was nice to see you compete, see you out there with a racket in your hand. And then as we kind of learn more and more about you, we learn about how tennis was basically something you were forced to do, but you just so happen to be one of the greatest in the history of the world at it. Have you found yourself post-tennis? Is this the happiest you've ever been? And did you ever experience life when you're playing tennis wondering, why am I forced to do this?
Well, that's loaded there. We only have a few minutes.
We got nothing but time, Andre.
Okay. Let me say that as I've gotten older, joy has been a more constant companion. Let's just put it that way. And, playing a sport I never chose, the disconnect I had with all those years, that sort of feeling of, I don't call it a love-hate, I call it a hate-love, because that was my transition. And I started to really, I learned to appreciate the good in it as I got older, but it was only through a lot of low points. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, Andre, I know you had a crazy, not like a resurgence, I would say, not a comeback late in your career when you went on a massive run as you got older. I would imagine that run compared to your run when you first kind of burst on the scene, did that feel a little different mentally for you?
Oh, way different. I mean, I don't really mean this literally, but the first time around getting to number one in the world, you almost can feel like it happens by accident, although obviously there's a lot of work and dedication that goes into it. Second time around, when you fall to 140 in the world, you're on a daily basis knowing sort of where you're not, right? You know what a bad day really means, and you know what a good day really doesn't mean when you have that Mount Everest to climb in front of you. But I was more connected at that point than I ever been to the game. I was doing it for my reasons. I was doing it for the impact I was having in education across the country. And as soon as I took my eyes off of myself, I don't know, the sport got a little cleaner in my head, and I was more motivated to give everything I had to it. And I never thought I could be number one again, but I knew I could be better than I was today. And that kind of drove me, every 24 hours kind of drove me to the next.
That had to feel great, obviously, and congrats on the career that you had. Let's talk about the pickleball transition here. Do you love it? A lot of tennis people were talking a lot of shit on pickleball. That was like almost the thing from the tennis community because, it's not really athletic. You can't move as much. But I'm out there sweating my ass off whenever I'm playing pickleball. I didn't understand it. Is there still a little heat between tennis and pickleball? And what are your thoughts on pickleball?
My thoughts is, I wouldn't broad brush that anymore with tennis players. I mean, there's no reason why these two great, sports can't play nicely in the sandbox. I mean, geez, it's, there's no reason why a tennis player can't keep a pickleball paddle in their bag when they're out there with friends. It's a great community game. It's a great participation game. And you're right. Every time I play it, it's like I just got out of a swimming pool with my clothes. I mean, it looks like it's a different demand physically, but I assure you it is a physical therapist, a dream for pickleball to come in, because the clientele that are now coming because of all the people that think they can do it. So, no, we're having so much fun. It's been a great outlet. It's added a great deal to my life. I don't have the rotational issues that I would in tennis, sort of at this age with my back and that sort of thing. But there's a lot of movement, a lot of stress, and it's very counterintuitive to tennis. So it's not that if you just play tennis, you might do some things really well in pickleball, but there's other things that you have to almost unlearn first. So quite a challenge mentally as well.
I think watching that first pickleball slam where there was $1 million. Yeah. $1 million on the line.
Cash.
I think
I just ripped out of John McEnroe's pocket.
Give me that. Give me that. That's what you did. But we talked to John McEnroe like 4 days before the event, and he was talking a lot of shit on pickleball. And I don't know if he was taking it as serious as I think we were in the middle of playing a lot of pickleball. It's like, hey, John, you can get good at this by playing this. Like, this is something you can definitely get better at, which I think is another advantage of pickleball, the sport, because a lot of people that aren't necessarily as athletic, they see progress quickly. They're going to continue to play it. But as we watched that pickleball slam kind of unfold, you all kind of got a little bit more intense as the game was going. You all got a little bit better. Have you played a lot of pickleball? And going into that one, were you prepared?
I mean, I don't want to, say more, unveil more to John than I care to, but I've been playing a lot. and I've been playing with him on my mind, quite frankly, for the most part. But I've been playing it with my wife too, which by the way, can add a great deal to your relationship, or it can ruin it. So you got to be careful with careful with that one. We had such a blast last year. I think the funnest part was watching all these champions that kind of knew how to direct their blood pressure and their energy and get through the intensity of 20,000 people going silent, watching them on a tennis court. And here we are with that same kind of experience and discipline, yet we have nowhere to direct it, because in pickleball you can't just energy yourself through these shots. You have to kind of calm down when you hit, and it was so disorienting for all of us to deal with the pressure. That the pressure brought back some great memories, and it did feel like a slam. I got to be honest. Yeah, that's why I want to do it again, and that's why Steph is doing it too, my wife, because she was there and she's like, wow, that looked like a blast. And she's been getting into it. It's a lot of fun. Everybody has a good time.
Yeah, they interviewed your wife during it. I remember she was on the sideline. I think she came out and did a serve and everything. Steffi Graf, 22 Grand Slam singles titles. Could you imagine happening upon one of these country clubs that has a pickleball court? And it's like you sign up for couples pickleball.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Okay. You got couples pickleball, and you just so happen to run into Steffi Graf and Andre Agassi. It's like, what is you guys have been preparing. We got moves. We got strategy. We're ready.
And hey, let's be on the record. And if she ever leaves me, I get half her slams, right? So that puts me about 29. So I think Novak has a long ways to go still.
That's awesome. Ty has a question for you.
Andre, when you look at professional tennis as a whole right now, I mean, obviously there are some, younger American guys who are kind of making a push and becoming more popular and getting better. But with pickleball becoming as popular as it is, and with how much other stuff there is to do you think we're ever going to get another great American tennis rivalry like you and Pete Sampras, or do you think that's never going to happen again?
Well, listen, I think rivalries aren't guaranteed in any sport, right? It doesn't matter how talented a generation is, right? You need to capture the imagination of cultures and people. And in the sense of me and Pete, we weren't just two opposite players, which was so obvious on a tennis court, but we were two opposite personalities and two opposite people altogether. So, to find those unique dynamics, Federer and Nadal, I mean, talking about a righty lefty, one who makes it look like so ballistic and one who makes it look like poetry. I mean, there's some special elements to rivalries. But what I will say is, we're pretty spoiled in America, coming off a number of generations before these three greats that we sort of have seen, for the last 20 years. But we came off a hefty generation. We got 4 guys in the top 20 now, 5 in the top 25, right? I mean, watching Ben Shelton as an example, never feel overmatched with whatever environment he's in, the semis of the Open, quarters of the Open, and you see his, his spirit and his desire to be out there. You're watching Taylor Fritz, who's going to put the back-to-back top 10 years. I mean, you're looking at, Tiafoe, the way he's moved, Sebastian Korda, Tommy Paul. I mean, there's a lot of great guys. The problem has been, Federer, Nadal, Djokovic, right? I mean, these guys have been probably the biggest issue. I do think we're going to see an American player get to the top at some point. But you're asking about a rivalry. A lot needs to fall right for that magic to happen.
I'm listening to you break this down right now. You still follow the game very closely, obviously. Love the game. I want to let you know, I know you felt like you were forced into tennis and everything like that. Tennis has got to be incredibly thankful that you were a part of it. We were all massive fans. And listening to you talk about the sport right there was mesmerizing. That was fantastic. Have you fallen in love with the sport? What have you kind of post-retirement kind of feeling like that? How has your relationship with tennis gone?
Well, listen, I'm more grateful for the game than the game is for me. I promise you that. It's given me a platform to change so many lives on so many levels. It's given me the platform to meet my wife, my children, my life, my family. I mean, giving me the chance to freaking, play pickleball and get paid to do it and take that money away from John McEnroe at the same time. I mean, there's so much fun that's kind of tied to the life it's given me. And yes, I do follow it. Yes, I do love it. I mean, I'm a student of the game. I don't know if I consider myself an overachiever or an underachiever because I spent so much time thinking about how to make myself better, and I spent so much time wasting years of my career, right? So, but when it comes to the mathematics of the game, when it comes to the dynamics and matchups of the game, I mean, I turn on any match and immediately, I just fall right into it. But at the same time, I can say it's a lot more enjoyable from my living room than it is from the worst seat in the stadium, which was typically against Pete or against Roger or one of those guys. So I'm just thankful I don't have to do it anymore, but I do love it.
Amen. I saw a punter backed up in his own end zone while we were sitting in our suite or whatever, and I'm like, I am so thankful I do not have to be the guy to do what he has to do right now. I couldn't even imagine having to do it at the rate and the level.
Well, see, when I'm backed up in my own end zone, it's my fault. You at least have the luxury of going, okay, at least I didn't put myself in this deficit. I'm trying to bail out of it, right? But for me, I was deep in that end zone, and a lot of times it was self-inflicted.
Yeah, but hey, that's tennis, baby.
Yep.
That's tennis, baby. Go ahead, AJ.
Yeah, I'm curious, with you and your wife, Steffi, do you have any, friendly competition on who may be the better pickleball player right now?
Yeah, and who is?
Oh my gosh, yeah. So there's obviously singles and doubles in pickle, and singles is a much more direct translation of tennis than doubles. Doubles is an entirely kind of different sensibility, if you will. So singles, we haven't gone after each other because it's a lot of believe it or not, as small as that court seems, things happen quickly because of the distance between two people, and there's a lot of ballistic, urgent movements, and it comes with a little bit more, say, physical demand and or risk. But doubles, we can really get out there and mix it up. And honestly, we've enjoyed being on the same side of the court so much. We haven't gone after the other one. She does a couple things better than me, and a couple things come more naturally to me than her based on our tennis game. But we do make a good combo, and I just don't see John and Maria, being able to live up to the standard we're going to bring. I just like to highlight that.
Yeah, I appreciate you highlighting that, as we highlighted a point for you in the first pickleball slam there with McEnroe hitting it into the net during the middle of your answer there. Did we learn anything about him? It felt like you were attacking something towards the end of that. You and Roddick were kind of attacking something towards the end of that.
Well, from a strategic standpoint, we were still novices then, and maybe John still is. I don't know how much he's played. And again, dealing with the pressure with all that prize money that was on the line and the crowd and I mean, it was hard to. We started playing all of us started basically choking. Just started hitting the ball to the thick part of the court. I mean, my opponents were blurry. I didn't even see who they were. You were kind of so uptight about it. But now you kind of know how to drop your blood pressure a little bit when you're out there. You know how to kind of navigate the strategy inside those nerves. And going back to the Hard Rock Seminole at Miami. I mean, I've been in that environment now once, and there's a lot of quick processing you do when you've been in those levels of competition before. So I've done some good processing, and come February 4th, I think I'll be ready to make the most of the environment.
Hell yeah. Did we learn the kitchen? That's the big deal. You got to learn the kitchen, bro.
Yeah, what's the rule?
You got to own the kitchen. What are you talking about?
What is the rule?
What is the rule? We're not allowed in there ever, but we can jump spike in there?
Well, yeah, if you're going to hit the ball in the air, you can't hit the ball in the air by stepping in there, right? So that's why you can't close the net and just slam it. But if you jump across the kitchen, you can get away with some of those what they call ernies. But if the ball bounces in the kitchen, then you can step into the kitchen to play it. But you got to get yourself back in a hurry. Which again, there's a lot of subtle, constant movement in the game, and it asks a lot of your of different parts of your body you forgot you had, I assure you.
A little sore the next day after the pickleball slam, it sounds like. Last question here.
Hey, you need to get John back on your show and ask him why he's not taking me on in singles again. This guy's dodging me like there's no tomorrow.
Why is that? What is his excuse to you?
I mean, some people are governed by fear in their life. I don't know. I mean, personally, I'm a guy that likes to be motivated by, love, but love, you trust yourself, you get out there. Fear, you get scared, you want to control everything, and John has a little bit of that in his game, a little control freak there.
All right, make him pay on February 4th, Andre. Make him pay. Last question here from Connor. That was awesome.
Yeah, Andre, you mentioned, guys not fearing anything in tennis, and one of those guys is Novak Djokovic. I mean, he doesn't fear, Federer, a vaccine, a disease. Jeez. Djokovic is one of the greatest tennis players of all time. You got to love it. But when you're coaching him, how much are you coaching, then how much are you also just like, holy shit, this guy is so good at tennis? Is his greatness one of those things where you see it on a day-to-day basis with Novak, or is he just one of the best gamers of all time? Because, I mean, he'll go down 2 sets, and we bet on tennis, and he will still be the favorite to win the match, even though he goes down 2 sets. What is it like on a day-to-day basis with Novak when you were coaching?
Yeah, got it. Well, he's an incredible, interesting, as we all are, and complicated person. But a lot of things come from a good place in him. When I was with him, he had 12 slams, and I said without a shadow of a doubt, if this guy doesn't end north of 20 slams, I mean, honestly, you can consider it a failure, because what he's capable of doing is absolutely remarkable on the tennis court. But the tortured part of all of us as athletes, we're all kind of tortured perfectionists on one level. We all have our process to get the best out of ourselves. And Novak, based on, just the life that he grew up in, what he knows is the environment that surrounds his entire upbringing, from where he's from. I mean, he likes a good fight. And sometimes that fight's with himself, and other times that fight is with his opponent. And other times it's with one person in a 20,000 seat stadium, and it doesn't matter where the fight comes from. There's something about tapping into his warrior side, and usually when he's down 2 sets, usually the crowd is thinking they're about to see something they normally wouldn't ever get to see, which is him lose. So they start to get a little revved up. They start to cheer his opponent a little bit more, and then he starts to kind of do that that lock on, that lockdown mentality of, you're giving me reason now to go to another gear. And I think as athletes, we all look for our ways to get into that zone. And, Novak's ways, might not always come across, let's say ideal when it comes to, he looks really pissed off at times. He's trying to find ways to bring out the best of himself, and give him all the credit in the world for constantly figuring out how to do it. I mean, what he did this year is remarkable, but it's probably no different than he's going to do next year or last year, right? I mean, he's the guy to beat. Alcaraz, though, here he comes. What a beautiful thing. 5 Americans now in the top 25. I love where we are with the game.
Yeah, whenever you flip the switch and get into a zone like Djokovic does, when an entire arena starts chanting against him, you go, oh, is that right? Oh, is that right? And he turns. Flipping the switch in tennis, just more control on the ball? Are you seeing the ball better? What does the zone look like for a tennis player whenever you get in it?
Yeah, I mean, I think the zone is kind of in a large way quieting your mind and really locking down on the nuance of what it is you need to to do, right? And in some cases, when you're down 2 sets, it's because of what you're not doing. In other cases, it's because you're trying to do something too stubbornly, and so that zone is kind of a simplification that goes on. For 2 sets, it might be a lot of noise. It might be a lot of distractions. You might have a lot of options. You might be trying to figure out how to win this match, and you might have 2 or 3 different ways that you can do it. And then when it's DEFCON 4 and you kind of get where you need to get mentally, it's just everything goes silent. You get very clear with what your intentions are, and there's nothing better than clarity and conviction in tennis. I'd rather have the wrong game plan and complete conviction, complete buy-in to how I'm going to execute, than have the right game plan, questioning it even for a second, because everything's happening so fast out there. And I think the zone is when you have total clarity, which leads to complete conviction, and one point isn't more valued than the next. And the next thing you know, the scoreboard is a result of what just took place.
God, the zone sounds sweet.
Yeah.
It sounds sweet. That sounds like a good time.
Yeah.
Especially if you have the talent to be able to do it. Are we going to see you get in the zone in this pickleball slam or no?
Oh, yeah. I mean, my problem is going to be getting out of a zone. I mean, I've been in the zone now for 6 weeks, it feels like. I mean, no, I'm excited to do it. I'm going to get out there, be totally clear. I mean, it's a thrill. I mean, it's a thrill. It's not like tennis for me in the sense that I have to put myself through some kind of tortured process. It is just only added to my life. And come February 4th, I mean, we're going to put it on the line. It's going to be blessed.
All right. It will be Andre Agassi and his wife, Steffi Graf, against John McEnroe and Maria Sharapova. We have some breaking news for this pickleball slam,
really?
too.
Okay. Ooh.
For $1 million on the line, with an amateur contest also happening beforehand for prizes that you can sign up for at thepickleballslam.com. There's 2 coaches this year for both teams now, 1 coach for either team. Okay. James Blake, obviously dog in the tennis world, now also an owner in one of the pickleball leagues. And Jack Sock is the coach of the other team.
Nice. Okay.
Now, which team are they the coach of, Andre? You don't know. We don't know.
No.
If this
Two icons in tennis who are actually really darn good at pickleball, I assure you.
Well, if this ball goes into that hoop over there, James Blake is your team's coach. If it doesn't go in, Jack Sock is your team's coach. Sounds like a deal, a little universe ball here.
So you're saying I can't lose, and you're saying whoever I play with, we're still going to beat John. I'm into this.
Okay.
Yeah.
James Blake.
Okay. Jack Sock.
Jack Sock will be coaching Andre Agassi and his wife. James Blake will be coaching John McEnroe and Maria Sharapova. $1 million on the line, February 4th. We appreciate the hell out of you, man.
You're a good man. Thank you, Pat. Appreciate the time.
Hey, you were phenomenal on this. You know, you were really good. This was a great I really appreciate this conversation with you.
Oh, yeah. It flew by in a hurry. We should do it more often.
Pickleball Slam 3, right around the corner.
Boom.
Ladies and gentlemen, Andre Agassi. That was it. He was not being pitched to be the person to talk about this.
Interesting.
What?
Why not?
That's right. Well, that's what we said. We were like, we like to talk to Andre Agassi.
Mhm.
They're like, I don't think he's doing media run for this. We haven't asked him. It's like,
ask him.
If you could please ask him, we'd be very grateful. We're massive fans because once I learned about him feeling as if he was forced into tennis, I couldn't even imagine the struggle he had inside. There was a lot of dark nights, I'd assume.
Oh, yeah.
For Andre
Bro, you should
Agassi.
read his book. I listened to his book back in the day when it came out. Yeah. His hard driving dad, it was rough for him. And I remember as a kid watching him play, like crazy hair, neon colors, like he made tennis cool. And then you read his book and you're like, oh my goodness, this dude was going through all of that.
Okay, so I didn't read the book, but that was my assumption after hearing what he said and how he said it. So that's why I kind of led the conversation off with that, because it's like, but I'm sorry.
Yeah, that sucks.
Like, we're very grateful for what you get. And obviously, you made a lot of money, made a name for yourself. So life is good. You have a roof over your head. You have food, everything like that. But there had to be some terror. So that's what it sounds like. All right. Because when you lay your head down at night, you're just with yourself. You know, those are when things really get loud, I think. Couldn't even imagine if you hated everything probably about yourself and everything you're doing while having to go out and perform, let alone if you lose.
Yeah.
Then it's just like the people that you're fake trying to impress are also, I mean,
burying you.
That's a tough run. And then you hear him now, it's like this guy found his joy.
He's great.
Awesome.
Hilarious, too.
How about him? Yeah, talking massive shit to John McEnroe.
Yeah,
The whole
love
time.
that.
He mentioned this, he said McEnroe's name like 10 times probably. Like he wanted to get the point across. Yes, we're going to dominate.
Hey, thanks for bringing up how much money it was worth. Yeah, I took that shit right out of
McEnroe's
Oh, it's down there in Hard Rock Seminole. Oh, I love the last time I was there, I took money right out of McEnroe's. That was awesome.
Yeah, been in the
McEnroe kills pickleball all the time. I just heard McEnroe on something else talk about pickleball. Even though he's playing in it, he loves to trash the game too.
Because the pickleball supporters at the beginning, whenever this Pickleball Slam 1 happened, they're like, why are we letting this guy play for $1 million? The guy hates the sport.
Yeah.
We have so many people that love pickleball. Why are we doing this? And then you get out there, McEnroe,
McEnroe brings ratings. He knows.
he's playing.
Yeah.
He knew what was going on.
Oh, yeah.
He was getting good too by the end of it.
Yeah.
And he talked about how they didn't really know the strategy. Yeah, this dude's a dog.
Legend.
This dude's so sweet. So sweet. Connor, look at that hair.
Great fucking hair.
Connor, that's what I'm saying. We need a sweatband maybe on that.
Sweatband's not a bad idea. I do sweat a lot, too.
Yeah, a bandana too, Dahn like this. You could be the Undertaker. You can do the Agassi right there.
They sell them since him and Nadal always wear them. They sell those beautiful ones.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, I am kind of an Alcaraz guy, per se.
He mentioned him.
But still, with the headband's a great look. I mean, hair like that, too. Those blonde, I mean, you guys are looking at the headband. I'm looking at those blonde highlights right there. They're not.
Those are natural.
No matter what they are, I want that.
Bro, look at the
Frosted
bronze
tips, man.
Yeah.
Chain.
Oh,
Stud.
Hair like that.
that's not frosted.
Chest hair popping out all over. Yeah.
Yeah, that's not the photo. I'm talking about the one up there.
90.
Sorry, that one looks like he's got the blonde highlights. Top
Oh, yeah, top left up on the thing.
Yeah.
He does look a little bit like he is about a month or two out from a good dye.
Yeah. Sun kiss.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Month or two out. The hair dye back in the day was, I mean, I'd dye my hair maybe 55 times. Just easy to do. How much is it? $9 to go down to the store.
Dyed or bleached it?
Bleached it,
aren't there-
dyed.
It was big in our school.
Yeah, I had a chocolate cherry at one point. That was like an $8 thing.
Chocolate
It did
cherry.
not work out well.
Caramel kiss.
What is that?
Chocolate cherry, just you kind of guess. Guess what color it is.
Yeah.
Red.
Mixture of chocolate and cherry.
Yeah.
Chocolate cherry.
Okay, yeah, I had
It
no
was
idea.
like black with a red. It was terrible. I
You
mean, it
just
was
walk
$9.
down the aisle, and there's all those beautiful just for men
Options.
boxes, options, whatever it is. Yeah, Caramel Kiss was my go-to.
It was absurd.
What the hell is caramel kiss?
You get it.
You get it.
I've never heard of that.
What you just
I've never
heard?
heard
What,
of
in
any
your
of
head,
these.
Yeah.
in your head, a color popped up whenever you said
Okay.
caramel.
All that popped up was a Hershey's Kiss with caramel inside of it. That's what popped up.
Boom.
Boom.
There's color in there somewhere.
Caramel kid.
Maybe throw some sun in there in the summertime.
Oh, that was the natural old school. Yeah, you could spray that shit in. Oh yeah, I've done all that.
Lemon juice.
Did you do that?
Lemon juice. Oh yeah.
That's why.
Right on your
That's
forehead.
why my
AQ's
hair.
high school.
That's why my hair's gone.
Yeah, his high school picture, he looks sweet.
I also got a perm at one point.
Ooh, yes.
Because I wanted the
Justin
flow out
Timberlake.
the back.
The curls.
I wanted the curls out
How
the
are,
back.
how are AQ's arms that big and he only weighs 248?
I don't know. Literally, I think the shirt he's
You look
wearing today
awesome,
is
AQ.
different.
The shirt's a little small.
It's a small.
You look good, buddy. That's amazing.
Is that guy's basement?
Yeah.
That shirt right there represents the basement of the rich man that you train at.
Oh yeah.
Say?
They're going to kick you out.
No. I think he's bummed.
Oh,
They're all pumped.
You
It's
think?
on today.
Yeah,
Well,
text.
everybody has complimented how you look
Yeah,
too,
exactly.
and that body has been built in the
the
shipyard and in WTF.
Jeez.
That's what he used to look like before getting into WTF.
Look, I got some lemon juice in the hair there.
Joe knows.
Yes, he does.
Yes, he does.
About
Yes, he
everything.
did.
Oh, so Ursay only put lemon juice in his hair recently. That's what it is. That makes sense.
No, it's
Ursay
Cheeto
was
dust.
in the lake.
Why would you?
Anyways, you look fantastic, AQ.
Thank you.
We haven't really got a chance to talk about much with you, AQ. That's a damn shame. I don't like that at all. I think
you got?
we need to talk Jason Kelsey, one of the sexiest dudes on earth.
Palm.
That's good for centers.
That's great for centers.
That's got to be a first time a center.
Lyman as a whole.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I don't. You think I was ever in the running?
For what?
Yeah, I think so.
Right now you are.
Put that picture back up.
Right now,
How do you even get in that running? That's a
You
good
just
question.
be sexy.
I think numerous people just have to see a picture of you and go, damn.
Got sexy.
That's it.
Yeah,
that's
I
all.
think so. Numerous people. I heard Connor's mom loves you on the program.
you got one vote.
I don't know if she has any say in the people's sexiest thing, but
My mom does too. My mom does.
okay.
Two.
AJ's mom
I haven't asked mine.
I don't think she has any say, but yeah.
My mom does.
doesn't work at People. Your mom works at People.
Yeah, she's got say.
But
That's cool.
Sounds like you were wondering why you maybe
No.
person-
Yeah, a lot of
I
jealousy.
just wondered how you get in. I'm jealous
Well,
of him, and that's awesome.
Despite soaring fame from his New Heights podcast with brother Travis Kelsey and his Prime Video documentary, that is the #1 watched documentary in the history of Prime Video, the Philadelphia Eagles star center 36 keeps it real as a husband and a father of 3. We're just trying to have fun, he says. It's that type of.
That's sexy right there.
I'll tell you, he
Well groomed too.
Hey, he's an Ohio fuck.
Yeah.
He is funny.
I thought
Awesome.
he should have got the cover.
Jason Kelsey is a funny motherfucker.
Yes.
I am a huge fan. I'm very pumped that he got on this list, but there's going to be some handsome dudes out there that are starving themselves to death on Instagram. They're going to be pissed about
Yeah,
that.
that's right. The cover
They're
was-
not going to be happy that football is coming in. Dating Taylor Swift.
Right.
Now we're taking your sexiest man title.
Right.
Sorry about it. Zero football. Sorry about it over there, pop culture world. Shout out to Jason Kelsey and his eyebrows.
Is it a
getting-
finals? Is this the finalist and then there's going to be a winner that gets the cover? Is that how it works?
Patrick Dempsey got the cover. He
Again.
He looks real good on it.
Patrick Dempsey.
Yeah.
Clint
That
Dempsey.
guy doesn't age.
Yeah, Clint.
Not related
Is that
to
Grey's
Clint's
Anatomy?
father.
Yeah, Grey's Anatomy.
A little cooler looking Clint Dempsey.
He drives race cars, D-Butts.
Oh yeah, what kind?
F1.
F1.
Oh, I don't know.
No,
He does I think he does IndyCar type driving, like
driving
legit races.
Smart.
Who's this?
Look him up.
Patrick Dempsey.
The Dempsey dude.
Check it out.
He's an actor.
You know
Grey's
him.
Anatomy.
You know him.
He was on
I
Grey's.
fucking love Grace. Oh shit, that dude is very handsome.
Oh yeah, I know him.
I do not know who that guy is.
Usually has a beard, too.
Big driver, race car guy.
That guy's very handsome.
Yeah.
They
He's
killed
like-
off his character in the show, and then it was absolutely awful after that.
In Grays?
Yeah.
So what was that? That was about a hospital?
Yeah, it
Yes.
was about one.
Yep.
Yeah.
Got it. I didn't get into it, but everybody did.
Meredith.
I heard about it.
Yeah.
I didn't know they had this on there.
Oh, yeah.
Jeez Louise.
You would have watched.
And this is what George Clooney used to look. This is like George
Yeah.
Clooney used to be.
Yeah, you get that,
bingo.
that perfection of a little bit of a touch of gray in there. That'll do it for you.
Just for men.
What a vote. Hey, congratulations, Patrick. Even though we think Jason Kelsey should have been there.
Yeah, we agree.
You can get in there again, so Jason Kelsey can be a renominee if he remains as sexy.
Yeah,
as he is.
I was looking at the list today, and there was a couple people that won more than once.
Hey, Kush,
Yeah.
maybe next year.
hope is still alive.
Okay, let's talk about a little bit of a place that has no hope. That would be New England right now.
Well, we don't.
After the greatest dynasty in the history of the NFL has concluded, now there are people talking wild shit about the future of Bill Belichick, the greatest coach of all time and the greatest general manager of all time, and the New England Patriots, more specifically the Kraft family, Robert and Jonathan, who were seen on video saying, we're not good enough and we're forced to watch this pretty much. Yeah. Everybody has a take on it, including Ben Volen, who works for the Boston Globe. Boston Globe, which is a pretty important thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ben Volen's been covering the Patriots a long time.
Yeah.
Probably has a lot of connections within the Patriots.
Maybe.
What's that mean?
You're asking me questions? I'm just answering.
They love him up there.
Who, Ben?
It's a bold accusation.
Is that right,
though.
D-Bud?
Taking Ed's space, the report indicated that Belichick will be back with the Patriots next year, Volen wrote, but two people close to the team believe the report was really Belichick sending a message to Robert and Jonathan Kraft. Don't forget that I signed a multi-year contract. If you fire me, I have a big fat buyout coming, and I intend to collect every single penny. This was about the Bill Belichick deal being released about 2 weeks ago when it said he signed a 2-year extension, so he's still on contract for next year. Ben Volen saying that there's people that think Bill Belichick released that to send a message to Bob and Jonathan saying, oh, I think you might have forgot. There's another year on this bad boy that is huge. Ben Volen would also say, based on my conversations, I don't think it's 100% that Belichick finishes out this season. If Belichick loses at home to Commanders and then to the Colts and comes home from Germany with a 2-8 record, I think there's a chance Krafts can make the move in the bye week, which is next week for New England. Now, obviously, people overreact to everything.
Sure.
And especially when it comes to NFL coaches and everything like that. But the fact that somebody seems to be pretty credible at the Boston Globe is giving this particular opinion is a wild time for the New England Patriots. Does it feel, Connor, who loves the New England Patriots, does it feel like Bill Belichick is inevitably gone after this year? And how much should we put into Ben Volen's statements?
Well, let's just think about what Ben Volen's saying here, right? Okay, so Belichick might not make it back in the bye week, and then instead of taking a job next year, he'll sit out a year strictly to get money from Robert Kraft. So that in its own is just false. Like that, I get it's opinionated, and saying based on my conversations, is that with like your children or some guy at a bar, or is that with people inside the building?
I would assume got Boston Globe probably talking to other people, but you're right.
Sure.
Could have been.
Absolutely.
Neighbor.
Could have been, yeah.
Any grass.
You could probably pull anyone off the street in New England, and they would probably have that to say, and then you could say, based on people that my conversation with. So that's one
Journalism.
thing. Journalism, of course. The other idea that Robert Kraft would fire Bill Belichick mid-season, like that is something that just won't happen. And I said yesterday, I don't think that the whole idea of what Bill has done for the team has warranted A, B, and C, that he can get whatever he wants. Like, I don't think that's true. But I also don't think Robert Kraft's going to disrespect Bill Belichick by firing him mid-season, because that's what that would be. Now, after the season, if they have a conversation after they finish, let's say 3-14, 4-13, and then he gets let go, like that is something completely different than what he is assuming. Now, the idea that he gets fired, that is definitely real, and I could 100% see that happening, but I don't see him, after getting fired, sitting out a year because of his contract, one, or the other being Bob Kraft and Jonathan Kraft deciding, yeah, we're going to fire this guy mid-season and hope for a turnaround. Like that, it's just so dumb and so fucking stupid to read those words and for people to actually take them and then take those words into other conversations with people and use them as if they are fucking fact. That shit drives me insane. And everything that you said works at the Boston Globe, all these things, very credible. I bet he's done great work with the Boston Globe. I don't think for one fucking second that Ben Volen knows what he's talking about when it's coming to this situation.
Okay,
now,
right.
I could also be wrong because I am an idiot, okay? And I
don't
say
work for the Boston Globe.
Very stupid things, and I don't work for the Boston Globe. So that I hope that I am wrong, because if I am and Belichick gets fired, that means we're losing the next 9 games by a grand total of 500 fucking points, because they would be even worse without Bill. But with that being said, the reality of Bill being fired is absolutely real, and there is a chance at the end of this year that they decide to go with Gerard Mayo in-house. Let's do this thing completely over. He won't get fired if they lose in Germany. He won't get fired.
Which the Colts team.
Yeah. We're not scoring.
Colts fans would love that.
Yeah, we're not scoring 20 points. That's just a fact. And you guys have scored 20 points in every game, so that's a loss. But basically everything he's saying here, I look at and spit in the face of Ben Volen because of how much I disagree.
We get it. Okay,
yeah, just hammering that home.
What does Tom E. Curran say? I want to go back to what does Tom E. Curran? Does he have similar thoughts?
We could call him.
We
could call him.
I would love to hear what Tommy Curran has because I trust Tommy Curran and Phil.
The thought of Kraft pulling the trigger on firing Bill Belichick in the middle of the season after everything has happened
will never happen.
Would be awesome. That would just be that would be chaos. If the amount of anonymous sources that would come out speaking on Bill Belichick's side about how he feels, like if Bill Belichick was the one that leaked the information about his contract as a reminder to the Kraft family and to everybody.
You believe that?
I don't know.
I mean, that sounds like how Bill Belichick does business.
Yeah, I mean, there's a chance it's real, but
fuck no.
I mean, there's a chance that.
Or what if someone texted him, a media member texted him? Well, I doubt he's texting, but maybe who knows? And said, "Hey, didn't you just sign a new deal?" And he said, "Yeah, it's a multi-year deal."
Remind the Crafts, like I just signed it. Yeah, okay.
It's like he's evil genius when it comes to football. I think is how we all view him. If he's also doing that, if he has time to manage an entire roster, who we're drafting, free agency, negotiation, mid-season acquisitions because we lose somebody, while also scouting college football players, coaching a team, putting in a thing, and let's make sure we get this narrative right with the media.
Manipulate.
That would be incredible. Yeah. That would be phenomenal if he was doing that. It'd be great to kind of hear about it. We're calling Tommy Curran to kind of get his thoughts on the whole thing. But you said, and like Michael Lombardi said, they got $110 million in salary cap next year. And you said you'd like to see Bill kind of rebuild and see if he can do it. There's going to be an easy out there to say this new eyes, fresh. Yeah. The whole thing, setting up for that almost.
And the thing about that is he just did this. He spent $150 million in free agency in one day. So it's like awesome. It's not as if he is out on spending money. He'll do that. And the best part is that when he fucks up with a signing and maybe it doesn't work out, a la Jonnu Smith, he won't just put him in the game because they paid him. He'll trade his ass away and he'll admit he's wrong.
He'll look in the mirror.
Yeah, and assess the situation.
You did it again.
Yeah. And he did do it again, too, with Juju Smith.
What did he we just got a report from Tommy Curran, who's currently on air somewhere.
So Tom could not jump on the FaceTime, but he basically said that he is a lame duck right now, and there is a possibility.
Okay. Thank you, Tommy Curran.
After the season?
Yeah, that's lame duck, right?
Duck.
Finishing out his term.
Yeah.
But no power, no juice.
Yeah, exactly.
Because he's not around.
That does make sense, though, with the money. Like, if there was ever time to cut ties and be like, hey, Bill, we just did this, and it didn't work. Like, I'm not just going to let
So then where's Bill going?
Anywhere that has an opening.
Chargers. He's going to the Chargers.
You know who's coming to New England, though? If Bill.
Braves.
Oh, yeah.
I think we're going to hire in-house. I really
But
I want Vrabel. I want Vrabel.
Why would they hire in-house?
Yeah, would they want to hire it just someone else from Bill's coaching tree? Like, isn't the whole point, like, hey, we need to try something new here. We don't just need one of Bill's disciples to do the exact same thing he's been doing.
We will say Vrabel's just got a quarterback potentially.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the Vrabel thing is cool because he just, was in New England and retired and everything, and I understand, like, the coaching tree. Gerard Mayo is a young guy. He probably understands how to communicate with the younger crew, right? So it's not a possible McDaniel situation where he's a massive prick, and he's been there. Allegedly. And he's been there. Like, Mayo knows what it looks like when the team is good and obviously when the team is shit. So that's why I want Gerard Mayo personally, because I don't think the Patriot way.
Hold on. Somebody, RG3 said yesterday, the Patriot way dies when Bill Belichick leaves the New England Patriots.
Yeah, for sure, which is awesome because that means Bob O'Griffin is a Belichick guy, not a Brady guy. So shout out to Bob. But, I mean, that isn't a thing. But we've talked about this before. Like, the Belichick way isn't a thing. It is just going out there and playing well. And that is something I think.
No, it's the Patriot way is actually the Belichick way.
Definitely a thing. 1,000%. And that, obviously, Tom Brady having a guy like that bought in is a huge part of it. It's like Greg Popovich having Tim Duncan or Phil Jackson having Jordan. Like, it's a part of that. Or having Kobe. Like, you got to have your best players invested and bought in and to carry that out. And in football, you got to have, Devin McCourty's, Julian Edelman's, Gronk,
Slater,
Lights, Vince Wilfork, all these guys over the years who kind of were pillars. But there are things about how he conducts business and even from interviews, you're only talking about yourself. You're never talking about injuries. Rookies, you're barely talking at all. So it's a lot of things that go into it that is the Patriot way, the preparation part of it, how you practice, all of it. So, but you got to have talent as well. You got to have that quarterback position right now is obviously a large part of it with having Tom Brady in.
You experienced the Patriot way.
Well, but the thing that's interesting and the thing that I've heard too is they practice different with Belichick because we've been in locker room. We've been AJ, right? There's a schedule that you stick to. Like Wednesday, you do this exactly every Wednesday all season. Thursday, you do this. Practice schedule's exactly the same. The one thing that I've heard is Belichick does things completely different. Your Wednesday is not the same Wednesday every week. It's
games.
They are actually taking what they are screwing up in games and actually working on it. It's not like a lot of other places that hey, listen, Wednesday we're going to work on our deuce blocks every fucking Wednesday all year long. No, if you're struggling with your reach blocks, if you're struggling in man-to-man coverage,
tackling,
if your fucking red zone offense is the worst in the league, we are fucking working red zone offense all the time. So he actually does shit that makes sense. It's just whether it can be replicated.
Yeah, nobody else does it. And when you hear it, maybe as a fan, you start hearing things yeah, that's what I would want my team to do. Yeah, that's what I would want my team to do. Yeah, that's what I would want my team to do.
Hard to do.
It's not like that.
Pros, though.
Yeah.
You got a lot of different personalities, a lot of different egos, people making a lot of money. So it's kind of collegey, kind of militant. And that shit's not going to work. It's not going to fly in a lot of places.
And that's why the tree is a bush.
Yeah. That's why I would want Mayo to do it. Basically, everyone on the staff I would want to keep. If Steve Belichick was a DC and Gerard Mayo was the head coach and Bill O'Brien was the OC, I would be unbelievably happy about that. And I know it would. So
Bill's the only problem.
No. This is if Bill. I
need Dante back.
You just said it. I want Bill for one more year. Give him a top 5 pick and give him all that money, and then see what happens.
All right. Before we get out of here on this glorious Trenches Wednesday, we have to become better at the football. We have to learn some stuff that you can't learn anywhere else because we have a GQ model. Who used to be an offensive lineman for 12 years in the NFL. Really? Break it all down from a different perspective, making us smarter, making us better, making us wealthier. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for In the Trenches with AQ Shipley.
Let's go.
AQ.
Hey, I got Ty. Ty's gonna be real happy today. We're starting off with this team. We also got a lot of Tyler Linderbaum.
He's former Remington Award winner.
Yeah. Former Iowa Hawkeye as well. But hey, this play is awesome. AJ, I want to get your take on this a little bit because when I saw this, I thought it was really cool because we've seen this play a lot. It's the old around play to the receiver. You got the receiver out here, but here, if you stop it right there, Pat. We got 2 tight ends in the game. It's 12 personnel. We got 81 in the backfield here. We also had this tight end coming in motion, which they're going to sell single back power coming this way, and then we're going to get the reverse around here. But, AJ, can you talk a little bit about what 81 in the backfield here with 2 tights in the game does to your guys' alignment?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely, your front call will be weird. If there's a 12 personnel, they probably have a plan going into the game. Hey, if 81, what's the other tight end's number? I don't know his number right here. But one of them will be the close call. One of them will be the big guy that you would set the front to. So even if you split out, you'd probably still set it to him. But then 81 in the backfield, AQ, how they can mess people up. If he just, say, Love lifts his leg, they don't snap it, and he just moseys down and he gets on the line of scrimmage on the end without the motion, obviously you can't have that. Boom, you're going to have to reload everything. Oh, check, close left, all of this stuff. So I think it just makes you think. Pre-snap, honestly. And when he's back there, you got to treat him like a fullback, though, pretty much.
I think the other thing you get, too, is you get Aaron Donald aligned. I think they kind of know this, aligned opposite of where they're getting the reverse to. So then here we go, and we get this. We also get the center going out, and we get him as the lead blocker when you're selling this to the because you get the tight end working strong side with the guy in motion. And look at Myers getting out in front.
Beast.
Awesome stuff. I haven't seen this. This is LaFleur doing something different, drawing something up. Being a little creative, drawing something in the dirt.
Yeah, bingo.
How about that? But it's awesome because a lot of times we've seen this. You get this guy right here who really would be this guy. sitting right here. 81 would be here. They'd start like they're running a weak counter and then whirly bird back out, and then you get the reverse. But this is the first time where I've seen you get a tight end coming back strong, selling single back power, and then coming back around.
Let's go, LaFleur.
Josh Myers out in front leading the charge.
Beautiful
Pretty
play.
awesome stuff. Pretty awesome stuff.
Well, I know that's what they're saying. Like, hey, you know, what does this do to you when 81's in the backfield? That's a third-round pick they use on a guy who's basically an H-back. He never catches passes, you know, so, like,
Glorified fullback.
Yeah, he is a fullback back there, so it's kind of, you know.
He's an H-back. At least he's on the field, third rounder.
Yeah.
You know,
He's not on the field very often. I'll tell you that.
I just saw a highlight.
No, I know. The first highlight I've seen since he's been in Green Bay, so.
That's good to see.
It's great. I'm excited, yeah.
That's good to see.
Good to see. The other good news here, we got the Dolphins obviously lost over in Germany this week. Here's what I love. So many teams see this, right? Check it out. Kansas City lines up in an overload. See how they got 3 defensive linemen over here and only 1 over here. They're thinking it's pass. It's 2 minutes left in the game, 4th quarter. Dolphins are down. Hey, we're going to pass. So many teams see this and they want to check over here. They check over here because they see this empty thing. Typically, when you get these overloads, all they're trying to do is get you all screwed up, and then somebody's going to come back this way. But they're also in the game because they're rushing the passer, right? Mm-hmm. So, hey, let's check run into it, and now we can take advantage of it. And check what Mostert does. He's going to stick his foot in the ground, make it look like we get here. It sets up the block for him because now they think you're getting the cutback. Thinks he's getting the cutback. And then you get the setup, and then Connor
Double
Williams.
deke.
Yeah, it's awesome stuff. And then you get the single there. Connor Williams, boom, out in front. They had like 3 runs of 15-plus on this last drive. It obviously didn't end up the way they wanted to, but they started to kind of figure it out.
What happened?
They lost.
Oh, did they?
Yeah,
They lost.
Tore shit down his leg.
It was a.
Whoa, the ball slipped out of his hand.
Misread, dude.
It was the fumble.
Pretty
What was
weird
the
little
other
snap.
read, Gump? What was the other option? What was
The 10-yard toss-up, I'm not sure about that one. That was concerning, to be honest. Jeez.
Hey,
it out.
The rest of this segment, Baltimore Ravens, because they're the only ones that ran the fuck out of the ball this weekend.
Really?
Everybody else couldn't run worth a shit all week. And so here we go. We get a single front side here. This guy still affects everything. We can take notice of this on, I think, the next 2 plays, how it affects all these guys staying over here. So they kind of get burnt right here. They get all these people down here, and you'll see something here later that kind of screws up the Seahawks. But, again, same thing. Check out the single here. Again, set up the block. He fakes it like he's running here, puts this guy's back on there, and then, boom, we run somebody over. You always got to make one person miss.
Gus Bus.
How awesome is that?
Get
Gus
going.
Edwards. Plus 30, plus 40, no big deal. Awesome single here. Watch this little single scoop, whatever you want to call it right here. Take him.
Look how big this guy is.
Yeah, Ricard, yeah.
That looks like a tackle moving in.
Absurd.
It's another guard?
You know, he actually trained and did some offensive line stuff this year because he didn't know where he was going to fit in Monken's offense.
Smart.
So basically, that's what he is. He's an offensive lineman. I mean, look at that. It's an incredible block on the backside there. It's incredible.
What a beast.
Linderbaum is a fucking mean cuss.
Yeah, the week before he got fined for this fucking block right here. Puts his head, hands inside, perfect block, gets fined.
It's ridiculous.
Linderbaum just won't stop. Yeah. Jeez.
Well,
Oh, yeah.
That's what those Hawkeyes do.
That's right.
Especially high school wrestling.
Oh, yeah. He's Solon, Iowa. He's
Don't even know where this guy came from.
Keaton Mitchell. He had a good preseason.
Keaton Mitchell.
I think he's from Atlanta.
100-plus yards on 8 carries or 9 carries. Awesome stuff. Check out this guy right here. Linderbaum climbs here. Watch him finish this. Just a classic inside zone. But check this out.
That's holding.
Nope. Hands inside the frame.
Do we notice anything here? This is what I was talking about earlier. So last time we had all these people in the box. Mark Andrews is aligned all the way out, split out there. We get 1 tight end over there, 3 receivers over there. So what you don't see is Bobby Wagner's over here playing because he's playing for this. He's playing for that keep right there. So now you get a clean 5-man box. You get a hat for a hat. Linderbaum goes right here, climbs 76, buries him, puts him on the ground, and Keaton's out the gate.
Wow.
Dog. There's a video of Lamar watching him run for his, did not run him for his second touchdown, but his second long run going nuts. It might be right.
Yeah, this one right here.
This is the one. Let's just keep eyes on this guy the whole time. Let this thing run in full speed, and let's just keep eyes on this. We get a toss into the boundary 2x2. Get the crack. Got to make someone miss. Buries him. Now keep it moving.
Looks like the water boy.
Keep it moving. Turn back. Boom, boom.
Yeah. Wow.
That's a loaf.
How awesome is that? Tyler Linderbaum is a monster at center. They drafted him in the first round a couple years ago. Let's watch the first initial hit. First of all, people don't realize, like, this is the NFL. Like, these guys are coming down trying to bang right there. He's trying to bang him. And then right there, he gets the worst of it, turns his back, keep him moving, turn back around.
Right.
Bowling ball.
Get him again.
Bang him twice.
Jeez.
Awesome.
Louise.
Double bang. How tough is it to snap and pull like that and get to the edge?
It's very tough, but that's why you're starting to see this more and more. You're starting to see these 290, I think he's like a 295, 300-pound guy. And you're starting to see this more and more, the Kelce's, because this is what they're doing in college. They're taking advantage of people being better athletes in college, and so now it's starting to translate to the game.
What a psycho, that guy.
He's strong enough to battle, though, in the AFC North against some big boys, which is awesome.
Yeah, because you can get outsized in
You
there.
can. That's where they can get you.
Here we go.
Oh, we got some good ones. Greg Van Roten right here. You initially get Dexter Lawrence right here, and you got a single block, but he's going to motion inside. This guy then knows we got Okereke, and let's just watch.
What?
Okereke, is that, how do we say it?
Okereke.
Okereke. I need Google.
You're saying
Google
right here.
Translate.
Don't trust.
You're saying right there.
Yeah, just watch this. First of all, watch the initial bang on him, and then watch the finish.
Oh.
Boom!
Oh, baby.
Boom! God, it's back.
Is this what we do? Is this what we do?
You Jeffy.
Man.
That's what we do.
Jersey.
How good
AJ.
is this?
What does he got to do, AJ?
I played with Van Roten. You gotta pray. You gotta pray he doesn't come for you.
I mean, how good is that?
That look like throwback Logan Mankins right there.
Yep.
Fucking
Marshall
right.
Yondas type stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hankins.
You just like, I don't think people can understand that enough, how hard it is to do this to another NFL football player. Initial pop puts him down is so hard to do. Like, it's typically just a stalemate.
That initial pop to AQ is so violent. It doesn't show through like in the film, but that, like, if you run it back, that initial, when they hit and it's both like head and hands, like, yeah, it's nasty. Like it feels way worse than it looks. I think right here for both these guys.
Yep.
Helmet.
And then Van Roten just says, "Nope, see ya."
Yeah. And then he gets thrown 5 yards. I've had that same hit with Vontaze Burfict, and that was the start of the end of my neck. Like, that was the start of the end.
There's a chance.
Don't do that.
And then here we go.
Finally get to showcase Tristan Wirfs, right?
Another Hawkeye.
Moves
baby.
another Hawkeye.
Wow.
Moves over to the left side. Now, again, this is another thing. Let's stop it real quick. Stop. Denzel Perriman. I've played against him a bunch. He comes down and tries to take you out. Like, let's just not take that for granted. Watch how effortless this monster makes this look as he throws another human being in the NFL 10 yards.
Oh,
Holy shit. Holy shit. Lands on the other side of the numbers.
I mean, we're between the hash and the numbers to the other side of the numbers.
Okay, we're there.
Oh my God.
We are gone.
Is that unbelievable?
That's a first down.
That's
absurd.
A big right there.
That's a huge dude. Also, good leverage use.
Crazy.
Good use of leverage. Tristan Wirfs, another Iowa wrestler, right?
Yeah, fun fact, I believe he actually defeated Tyler Linderbaum in the state championship at heavyweight.
Oh, my God. That guy's got a little methy in there, too.
Oh, yeah.
Or Ronaldo, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, that's just freakish. Freakish. That's only on. Oh, here, let's go back a little bit.
I was going to say 67 coming in.
Yeah, Gadecki at the end of this gets a little shoulder on Jimmy Ward and sends him flying.
Where are we looking? Right here, right?
Yeah, just watch Jimmy Ward come in here.
Yeah, right there.
There's a little shoulder. Boom!
Jeez. What's wrong with you guys?
Hey, football's a violent game.
What is wrong with you guys, dude?
Watch yourself out there, pal.
Yeah,
Awesome.
Especially when there's any offensive lineman around. That's why we go in trenches.
Yeah.
Thank you, AQ. AJ, can't wait to chit-chat with you, Mignana, pal. We'll be live in Athens on Friday. What a time that should be. I think we have a big guest locked in.
Let's go. I've never been there. You ever been there?
I was there last year for game day. It was wild.
Oh, that's right.
It was wild. They're in like this little quad area. It gets pretty packed in, and they love the dogs down there.
Yeah.
They're barking down there. The dogs are barking.
Big time.
Go dogs. Number 2 overall team in the country right now. Back-to-back national champions. You explain that to me. I've been asking these questions a lot. The official college football playoff rankings were released for the second straight week here last night. AJ, the Ohio State Buckeyes, even though Notre Dame win is kind of growingly not as big of a win as it was a few weeks ago as the weeks go on, still at number 1, Georgia at 2, Michigan at 3, Florida State at 4, Washington first one out, Oregon first one-loss team or highest one-loss team to be ranked with Texas, Alabama. Not a lot of movement from last week, and there's a lot of conversation about, well, is it strength of record, strength of schedule? Is it, football judgment, eye tests? What are they doing? Boo Corrigan assured Reese Davis last night they're looking at everything.
Everything.
And there's no one reason for one thing and one reason for everything. We're looking at all the different, no stone unturned.
Nope.
How'd they look, when they look it, where'd they look it, who was playing, who's hurt, how early into a comeback after an injury has it been? So there's no rhyme or reason seemingly other than this committee just kind of putting their feelings together. How do you feel about Ohio State at number 1? And I would like to let the Michigan people know, there's a lot of my quotes we're setting like scenes almost. Like if this is true, then this has to happen. I am a massive fan of being on the side of like, these players didn't send Connor Stallions to sidelines. Like that is not I don't want they're playing great football right now too.
Yeah, I agree. Don't take away what they've done so far.
Bingo, that's what I'm saying. And I've said that. Now, if they knew, and if Harbaugh knew, and it was like we all knew, then it's a whole different conversation, obviously. But like for me, it's going to be wild what happens from Judgment Day today, I guess, with the Big Ten maybe in the next couple of days making a punishment on Harbaugh. Nobody knows what it's going to be. And I don't know what all we actually know. Connor Stallions has resigned. He's gone.
Yep.
The Big Ten is punishing one of its biggest brands publicly for something that is not necessarily the most great thing to be known for in your conference. So we all assume it's something. We haven't seen all of the evidence, but I guess we're going to get a ruling of some sort in the next couple of days. Nonetheless, if they beat Penn State, we need to judge who's on the field, and I think they're a great football team right now, but a lot of people are about to go into a schedule that can really test them, try them, and maybe expose them or make them, and that's why college football is beautiful right now.
Yeah, you could kind of forge yourself as a team through this time because it's very tough. You're facing a lot of tough opponents, but also I love the end of Pete's tweet there. What did he say? As they're expected to take some time to absorb Michigan's response. I love the absorb.
Let them read, please. Please, can we give Michigan a good enough time to respond? And
sources, the Big Ten expects a response from Michigan on the notice of discipline by the end of day on Wednesday. Don't expect any ruling by the Big Ten on Wednesday, as they are expected to kind of, take time to absorb Michigan's response.
Of course, Pete. We would assume that they would read it, but it might be a lot.
Yeah,
we don't know.
True.
They're answering all the allegations, I guess, that the Big Ten has presented them with. They said, hey, we're going to need answers for this that we have. Michigan has responded. Now the Big Ten is absorbing the response and seeing what the proper process is.
Of course.
It's everything from suspension to, Stephen A. Smith said, ban him. I think other people talk. There's a lot of things being in there. I'll be excited to hear what the Big Ten thinks is a right punishment.
Yeah, Feinbaum was pissed this morning as well. So he wasn't saying, anything about banning them. I think he thinks they should still be in the college football playoff, but he's about sick of it, and he wants action now, and he wants heads on a platter.
I think we all need some, right? Especially the Michigan football players.
Yeah.
Like, they deserve for us to know what the hell
stuck
is
in
real.
like limbo. Stuck in between, like, okay, what are we doing here? What are you guys going to do to us?
Take 5 scholarships, move on, get on with it.
Yeah, well,
exactly. That's
Hopefully. I'd like to know when ESPN is going to report about Purdue stealing Michigan signals, because all I've heard is the one side.
Hey, I heard the AP said Associated Press, I believe, was, I don't know.
It was the AP and SI, and everyone's on it now except for
Michigan and Purdue broke the exact same
LLC's out there buying property. You got all kind of stuff.
Well, we don't know what's real, what's not, but Dan Wetzel knows. Wetzel the Pretzel has been on the show before. This guy is a journalist.
Yeah.
In it.
Michigan and Purdue broke the exact same rule. They used advanced scouting to steal a future opponent's signals. Why does the NCAA and Big Ten only care about one of them? Great question, Dan Wetz. I believe the use of technology is the big thing, I think, is the difference. But there's a lot of stuff coming out right now. I think the entire Big Ten and a lot of coaches, if you heard a lot of them talk since the beginning of this, is just like, let's just get the headphones in.
That's it.
Let's just get the headphones in there and let's just move
news
along.
on that.
Are we on?
Doing it.
There's
Change the rule.
Yeah, for the bowl games, they're allowed to use headphones and speaker in the helmet, and I believe they're actually going to have tablets too on the sidelines.
And I believe that's probably going to be the rules going forward.
Should be.
Shout out to Connor Stallions, potentially being the engine to get something that college football has needed for a long time. And look at the NCAA quickly.
Yeah, that's like a huge thing that they're actually making a change for something.
Here we go.
Did not expect that.
So maybe that means that this whole thing will get settled quickly. But I think we all would like this to be in the college football world and in the sports world as much as possible. Hate talking about it. Because it's like, well, they're getting screwed because they're steering the signals. It's like, agreed, they're getting screwed. The players are getting screwed, though, because, like, something happened that agreed. Yeah, everybody's getting screwed. Yeah. This is not good for anybody.
Not to mention the hashtags that are going around about our good friend Pete Thamel. I don't like that one bit, what they're saying.
Hey, Pete Thamel needs Stephon Diggs shin guards, both of them.
Yes, he does.
But that's journalism.
Exactly.
Also, the best way to defeat a bully is own it. He should go by Greasy Pete now.
Is that what they're calling him?
Hashtag Greasy Pete.
Yeah. And there's a lot of hashtag where is Greasy Pete as well because of the fact that he's not talking about
putting
the other
Pete's
school.
head, on the side of a milk carton and saying that he's 5'4" and stuff like. He's very unsavory.
He's not.
I agree. I've stood next to Pete
Pete's
Thamel.
tall.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, and a lot of hashtag where is Greasy Pete, that kind of stuff. It's uncalled for. It's not funny. It's just ridiculous. So I think we should kind of wait for all the dominoes to fall, if you will.
You think Pete's going to be vindicated at the end of this whole thing?
Oh, yeah.
He'll be right.
All right, I agree. Hey, Pete's deep in the weeds on everything.
He needs to hope that this stuff doesn't keep coming out, that because he's kind of just giving it to Michigan, or he at least needs to come out and be like, I haven't been able to corroborate any of that about Purdue, about Ohio State, about, any of these places other than Michigan's and that lying, cheating, stealing son of a bitch, Connor Stallion.
Well, that's what they're kind of saying.
Yeah, exactly. So either Pete needs to say it or, something needs to happen.
Yeah.
Well, we'll continue to follow the story. Have to. It's one of the biggest stories in sports right now.
There it is.
Oh, geez.
We don't have to show that.
Yeah.
Come on.
Oh, my God. Last scene, Ryan Day's attic.
Where?
He weighs more than 145.
I can attest, Pete does not wear cheap suits either.
No way.
Okay.
And his hair isn't thinning.
And his shoes are sick. His shoe
He's got a hammer, too, I bet.
All right. That's how we end the show. That's how we end the show.
Can't even pee.
He carries himself with that. I like the cut of his jib.
The moxie of a man who's very confident, and we respect him. All right, let's get the hell out of here. This has been a great day.
Hell of a day.
Tonight's going to be a great night. We can't wait for tomorrow. You're the best, AJ Hawk. Boys, great work today. D-Buck, great work this week.
Great work.
AQ, great work today, pal.
Huge.
Wait, make sure you get back into the Walton training facility and keep building those arms up because a lot of compliments today on the bod.
Jesus.
Good for you. Can you still swing golf club or no?
We'll find out.
You went from that to this.
Incredible.
All at the Waltz training facility. Okay, haven't had that right all day. Waltz.
Like the dance?
Yeah, like the dance.
Like takes two to waltz.
What is the waltz? That's the salsa.
It's a classic one.
Waltzes
Spinning. It's like 4
Yeah. A lot of box steps in the waltz.
Oh, okay. That sounds sweet. All right, I'm out of here. See you guys tomorrow. Be a friend. Tell a friend something nice that might change their life. Goodbye.